a contest for #1 in the nation between the Texas Longhorns and the Oklahoma Sooners. This football series started 1900. Great games through the past, like 1971. Greg Pruitt, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Oklahoma beat Texas for only the second time in 14 seasons. 48-27 Sooners in that game. What will happen today as we look down from the Goodyear Blimp Enterprise out of Pompano Beach, Florida, with Richard Daniels out of Burbank, California at the controls, floating over the city of Dallas that has been thoroughly washed today. There are thunderstorms all about the region, and we may very well have another one before this day is done. Oklahoma will kick off, and Texas will receive. The deep people for the Longhorns will be Kelvin Epps, number 40, and Tony Tillman, number 11. Doing the kicking for Oklahoma will be Tim Lashar. He is a sophomore out of Plano, Texas, and there are a lot of Texans on both sides of the field, because simply the population of Oklahoma is not sufficient. They've got to go outside to get the kind of players to compete at this level, and so they go to Texas and California. And the game is on. It is Epps, at least 6 yards deep in the end zone, and Kelvin will not come out. So it is Todd Dodge coming off a hyperextended knee last weekend at quarterback. Jerome Johnson, 195-pounder at fullback. Terry Orr, 225 at tailback. Bill Boy Bryant, 5'10", 155 wide receiver. And Brent Buhan, the split end. He's 5'11" and 180. Now we'll see Texas test the Oklahoma defensive unit, already being called by some a unit that has the potential to be one of the great defensive teams in Oklahoma history. It ain't bad right now, but there's a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there. It goes to the tailback, and Terry Orr sticks his head in the stack and comes away with a yard as the Sooner defense closes in. William Harris, 6'5", 210, tight end. John Stewart, 6'4", 270 tackle. Brian Chester at guard, 6'4", 260. Gene Chilton at center, 6'3", 280. Bruce Blackmore at guard, 6'3", 255. Greg Wright, 6'3", 250, the other tackle. That's the front offensively for the Texas Longhorns. That's quite a matchup in the middle between Gene Chilton and Tony Casillas of Oklahoma, the nose guard. Fumble on the play and a scramble for the football. I think Texas may keep it.
Well, Oklahoma chose to kick off the opening kickoff. Barry Switzer did not want the football. Wet field, rain. He'd rather the opponents have it in the first series.
Terry Orr covered the fumble defensively for Oklahoma. It's Reed, Tupper, Casillas, Brian Johnson up front with Milazzo and Bosworth, the linebackers. Johnson, Rockford, Stanberry, and Brown, the defensive secondary. And the football is sitting at the 22, where it is 3rd down and 8.
On the last play, there was faulty ball handling between Dodge and Orr. On the ground, Oklahoma had a chance to get it.
Sooner defense now shows a 4-man front. Bring the 2 corners up, and they'll try to cover the potential receivers. Man, give that ball to Terry Orr, and Orr going wide. Can't do it. Brian Bosworth, a redshirt freshman out of Irving, Texas, along with Troy Johnson, bring him down. And there's a reflection of the effectiveness of the Oklahoma defense as Texas sends out the punting team, and the Sooners should have good field position here.
Well, the Texas coaches feel this is a new era for their defensive team, back like it was in the Selma days, and that was a perfect illustration of how the defense the first series.
John Telchik, barefoot punter, out on the field, brings a towel to mop his foot in his hands, averaging just under 42 yards per punt. High snap, handles it all right, gets it away. It's a good high-hanging kick for Derek Shepard back at the 34, slips, loses his footing, and he is knocked down at the 32. A 42-yard punt for Telchik. The Sooners will come out with Danny Bradley at quarterback, an Arkansas boy, 5'10", 180. Spencer Tillman is back off injury, starting 5'11", 210, and a great one. Earl Johnson still hobbles some with a broken kneecap, playing today, and Steve Sewell, who is a whacker over there at that wingback position. He oftentimes will go up into the slot. Buster Rhymes, of course, many of you may remember, as a running back. But now one of the fine split ends in the country. But Sewell will take you down. He's a good pass receiver, but having Johnson and Tillman in the same backfield for the first time this season was a tremendous lift for the Oklahoma Ball Club this week. And this is the first carry by Spencer Tillman this year. Keith Jackson is the tight end, 6'3", 235. Dillingham at tackle. David weighs 270. Jeff Pickett at guard. Jeff is in at 275. Chuck Thomas, the center, at 275. And the other guard is Eric Pope. Eric weighs in at 275. And Brent Burks at tackle, 6'7" and 270. Ooh, they are plenty big. Second down and 8 as Spencer Tillman gained 2 yards. Steve Sewell goes in motion. Bradley back, looks to throw, has a man wide open. Sewell, pass good, 41-yard line, a yard short of the first down.
Jeffers, the defensive back for Texas, slipped down as Sewell made an inside cut. There's a fake into the line of scrimmage to Johnson. You can see that Oklahoma is a different football team. Mack Brown, the offensive coordinator, believes in throwing the ball, and you see how wide open Sewell was. Jeffers had slipped down.
So it's at the 41, and it's third down and a yard and a half, maybe. The first man, fullback, gets the ball. That is Earl Johnson, and he is a sophomore out of Dallas, and he is close to his first down. Looks like the mark will be enough.
Earl Johnson rushed as a freshman last year for 945 yards, missing 2 ball games, 247 against Colorado alone. And bringing in Spencer Tillman for the first time this year. Also, he's all-conference as a freshman running back last year, rushed for over 1,000 yards. These two playing for the first time in 2 weeks for the Oklahoma Sooners.
The change out on the field. The referee is John McClintock. Head linesman Dale Shores and field judge Butch Clark. They're out of the Big 8 conference. The umpire is Bill Enger. Bob Baker, the line judge, and the back judge is Ron Murphy. And there's the lineup of the Texas defensive people: McKinney, DeGrate, Heathcock, Bronner, Allert, Edwards, and James. And those linebackers are something to watch. Lott, Griffin, Braggs, and Gray. And Jerry Gray may be the best free safety in America at the college level. Certainly a premier player, to say the least. It is a first down for Oklahoma, just beyond their own 42. Bradley goes outside with it, gives the ball to Spencer Tillman, and Tillman shakes a couple of tacklers. You can see right there a man who has not carried the ball in game competition the entire season has just turned the corner and shaken off tacklers. You can see how much he can possibly mean to this team, because he averaged 5.5 yards a carry a year ago.
Watch number 5's block right there. Number 5 blocked the linebacker supporting number 16 Griffin. And Tillman goes right down for the first down. Sensational run by Tillman. First time this year he had the ball.
Ball is just inside the 45 for Oklahoma, where it's a first down. Ball on the Texas side now. Up man Johnson slashes close to the 40. Tony Edwards, the middle linebacker, stepped in and filled the hole. Tony is 6'2", 260, a senior. Ty Allert, strong side linebacker, is 6'3", 225, and June James, the weak side backer, is 6'2", 220. As I said, they are headhunters.
They're big, they're fast, they can cover the backside of the backfield. Brett Akers says they're the best group of linebackers probably they've had at Texas since he's been here.
Just short of the 40. Second down, 6. Straight back, good protection, loops it downfield, penalty flag in the air, pass is incomplete, intended for Buster Rhymes, trying to get him behind James Lott. Rhymes is 6'4", Lott 6'1". The pass was awry, the penalty is called.
It's the pass interference, either offensive or defensively. We'll have to wait and see. Texas playing bump and run, man right at the line of scrimmage.
It's against Texas.
Texas fans, we should remember, Texas is a very forcing type of defense. They play bump and run at the line of scrimmage. Lott, the defensive halfback, is a world-class high jumper, 7'5". Let's watch it again right here. You're going to see right there on Rhymes the push. He cannot put his hands on him. Once the offensive man occupies the same line of scrimmage, it's illegal use of the hands. The pass was not catchable, Keith. That's the reason it's just a 5-yard penalty instead of 15.
A 5-yard illegal use of hands penalty before the ball was thrown. Automatic first down.
Well, it doesn't make any difference before the ball is thrown. it means if it was a catchable pass, really. If it was a catchable pass, it should have been pass interference.
I'm a little surprised by the size of Nebraska's score against Missouri. Thought that might be closer.
Well,
but this was a ball game right here, and a big ball game for SMU. They were undefeated coming in, and they were down 20-10 with about 6-7 minutes to play and came back to win it 24-20. It is first down, Oklahoma. The ball just short of the 35 on the Texas side of the field. We're just getting underway at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And the handoff goes to Tillman, and Spencer Tillman is over the 30.
Oklahoma is using an entirely different offense that I've never seen them use before. As we look at Illinois leading Ohio State 7-0. They're not running the wishbone. They're running a two-back offense, using a man in motion since Texas used it. Look at that one. 21-7 for the Air Force. Very different Oklahoma offense so far first half. Now they're back in the wishbone.
And it's second down and 4. Tillman and Spencer maybe has a yard down to about the 29 before Ty Allert and Stephen Braggs make the tackle. Army has come back in the fourth quarter now to go ahead of Rutgers 7-6. The Cadets are undefeated. Rutgers, pretty good football team, I'll tell you. Navy having problems. They lost a great player in McCallum. A lot of the country next week will see Boston College in West Virginia as the Mountaineers beat tough Syracuse today by 10. The game is in Morgantown. It'll be a test for BC. Third down and 3. They're going to run for it with Tillman, and he won't get there. They've got him down around the 26 as Tony Edwards, the middle linebacker, filled the hole and made the stop with authority.
That was a tremendous tackle by Edwards. Had Tillman been able to spin forward, he would have made the first down. As it is, he's about 2 feet short. Oklahoma's going to go for it.
No kick. Number 1, Bradley, calling his signals. He sends Rhymes and Sewell to the top of the screen. Double wide. They need a yard on fourth down to keep the ball. The right side of the Oklahoma line looked like it moved. I think might have been Jeff Pickett who moved on the right side of the line.
He moved before the snap. Oklahoma saying that there was some talking by the defense, threw him off, but to no avail.
Speculate on Tim Lashard as he is going to get a call here, I think.
Look just to the right of the quarterback's head. I think you'll see the Oklahoma player right there. You can see ticket number 77 into the line. Boy, does that change things. Now Oklahoma has to punt the ball.
Lashard, the place kicker, his long was 32 yards, so they're going to go with a punt. Try to hit a knuckleball up there and kill that ball deep. Winchester walked on and won the job. It had a good ball game and one we saw earlier this year against Pittsburgh. He just pops it up. I think he hit it too hard, though. He did. It carries into the end zone. Well, it's kind of hard to be that controlled, I guess, when you're 18, 19 years old, because he's all jacked up and caught up in the spirit of this thing, and he just kicked it too far. 1973, the first time ever a Barry Switzer coach team threw the football for over 200 yards, including this one for 40 from running back Joe Washington to Tinker Owens. OU rolled for over 500 yards total offense, winning the ball game in 1973, 52-13. In the backfield, it is Rob Morshell and Jerome Johnson now as Dodge comes back to throw it. The pressure's on, the pass is away, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver, Brett Duhan, trying to make a cut back to the inside, slipping and falling on the very wet field. If he had been able to make his cut and come back to the ball, who knows what might have happened.
Anytime the ball is underthrown like Dodge threw that pass, the receiver has advantage. He can come back, and sometimes you see some big plays. Duhan didn't have the footing. There we see.
Morshell, you got to remember, in a tailback right now was the quarterback for Texas a year ago. Fred Akers may have him in there for 2 reasons. One, he may be a little quicker than Orr. 2, he does offer the option pass out of the halfback position. He runs the football that time, and goodness knows Tony Casillas and Brian Bosworth made him pay for it.
Casillas, you need to double team Casillas, number 92. Barry Switzer says the best nose guard they've had since Lucius Selman. You can see him play off the block. He controls the block, a perfect nose guard play. Now he releases, separates, moves over, and makes the play with Bosworth helping him. Third and long.
Third down and 9 for Texas from their 21. Dodge goes back to the pass. Trying to set up a screen. Can't do it. It is almost intercepted.
The ball hit an offensive lineman and should be a penalty, Keith, but they didn't. Official didn't catch it. No eligible receiver was anywhere near the ball.
Well, he threw the ball here under pressure, and maybe they're giving the benefit of the doubt that he had somebody beyond the line of scrimmage, but in trying to deliver the ball under pressure,
you see it hit the lineman, number 78, Stewart, and nearly intercepted by the...
It brings in Telchik to punt. First punt was 42 yards.
Oklahoma was very impressive with their first drive. A sustained drive that was going for it on 4th down. When a penalty pushed them back, they had to punt. Texas has yet to make a first down.
First punt by Telchik today was 42 yards. This one is angled off to the side, shorter and lower, and it gives Sherbert a little bit of an opportunity. But the pursuit downfield is pretty rough. And it's a 36-yard punt with virtually no return. The Texas Longhorns 3-0, ranked number 1 in the nation. The Oklahoma Sooners 4-0, ranked number 2 in the nation. Their annual Donnybrook at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. There is no score with 7:22 to play in the first quarter. And only 12 times since 1943 have 1 and 2 met in regular season play. And one of those involved these two teams in 1963 when Texas came out of the number 2 spot and went on to win the national championship with a 28-7 victory. Those are the other times that 1 and 2 have met in the course of the regular season. Derek Shepard, trying to field a punt by Telchik of Texas, was injured on the Texas side, but he's a tough customer. He got up and he walked away from it. And Oklahoma will take over the football, first down at their own 45. They started the first time a little deeper on their side of the field, but then stalled down at the UT 31. It has been raining off and on all day and hard. But right now, just a little light sprinkle with Earl Johnson carrying the football and brought down by Ty Allard. And it's the first time this year in a game that Oklahoma has been able to get Spencer Tillman and Earl Johnson, their top running backs, into a game. The Georgia Bulldogs continuing to win. And Kentucky having its troubles against the Bulldogs of Mississippi State, with Florida holding to a tenuous edge over Tennessee. Derek Shepard has come back into the game now, so obviously he's all right as they set up out of the wishbone on 2nd down and 8. And Bradley's in trouble. Bradley is brought down by Ty Allard, the strong side linebacker. The strong side linebacker lines up on the tight end side, or the overshifted side, if there is one. And Allard, at 6'3", 225 pounds, is hard to keep out of your backfield.
Oh, he was a great football player in high school. His daddy was a coach for many, many years and is an athletic director. Number 48, he's an intense football player. Outstanding linebacker for Texas. South Carolina won a big one.
Ball is just over the 40, where it is 3rd down and close to 14. Bradley on a delay, hands off to Johnson. Johnson decked at the line of scrimmage. It brings on the Oklahoma kicking team. Bill Heathcock, at that time a senior from Garland, Texas, made the stop for the Horns. And these two defensive teams, Frank, I think, are going to control this ball game. We may be in for the sort of a struggle we had last week up at Lincoln between Oklahoma State and Nebraska, where eventually somebody bobbled a little bit and somebody cashed the chip.
Both teams believe in defense. They have quickness, they have size, and they have that intensity level that you have to be outstanding on defense.
Kelvin Epps, a track man, is the deep man for Texas. He's very, very fast. Winchester to punt it. Right through his hands. There's your problem. He slides down, and it's Texas ball at the Oklahoma 26. That's what I meant when I talked about opportunity and taking advantage of it.
Keith, when I was coached by Bobby Dodge on a wet day and kicking that football, he'd come up and he'd say, Frank, be sure you catch it. Be sure you catch it. It's wet. The first thing you've got to do is catch the ball. He emphasized that. We worked on it. And Westminster did not move over. He tried to catch it in his hand to the side, and that's a major mistake, fundamental error in the kicking game will cost you.
Texas is in business at the Oklahoma 26. Morshell ran the last series at the I-back for Texas. Now you've got Anthony Byerly is in at tailback, number 24. And Byerly has the ball. And Oklahoma has Byerly at the 25.
Well, when you have a break history like this, normally the defense is going to come after you. They're going to blitz. They're going to do something extreme, as we watch Freddie Akers and his son, number 12, signaling in the play. Danny Akers, who's the backup quarterback, 8th year at Texas. You can see his record, winningest coach in the history of the Southwest Conference.
Gain on that carry by Byerly was about a half a yard. Dodge rolls it out. Sets up and goes to the corner. His receiver falls down. And the Oklahoma man had it in his hands and then dropped it. Jim Rockford. So it's an incomplete forward pass.
Once again, we see the receiver slip down when he could have possibly made a play. The quarterback dodged. You can see it's a bootleg. Guards pulling out in front. You can see that Dodge nearly falls. He regains his balance. He throws it, but no one's there but Oklahoma. Rockford, number 2. He goes up, but he cannot control it. Incomplete. Now, in this situation, the defense comes out. Their job is to force a field goal attempt. That's a victory for them if they can.
Terry Orr drifts into the short range, but Dodge goes deep. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Texas. Bill Boy Bryant. Up in the clouds. The extra point kick by Jeff Ward is good. Penalty flag is flipped in the air. He's never missed an extra point. Let's see about the penalty call.
A busted coverage. Dodge reads the defense, but Brown, number 6, goes in the middle, man for man. Stanberry should have either been covering Brown. You can see he goes out and up, and you can see how wide open he is. Now, Stanberry has him, but he releases him to Brown. Brown, number 8, should have been playing this ball, but Brown took a receiver over to the inside, took himself out of the play, opened up the pass for the touchdown. We'll be right back.
The Texas State Fair. Weather sort of crimping things today, but there was a huge crowd here yesterday. It looks to me like all the parking lots are filled today. And right in the middle of it, some 76,000 folks watching Oklahoma and Texas fight it out for number 1, and the Horns have jumped out to a 7-0 lead. There's a penalty assessed against Oklahoma for running into the kicker. 5-yard penalty, and so Ward kicks off from the 45, and it's taken by Buster Rhymes, and he gets some daylight and comes to the 33. Brought down by Tony Tillman. It was a fumble by Winchester, the Oklahoma punter. The ball went right through his hands at the 26, and Texas cashed it in on as the Oklahoma defense broke down. The streaks in this series have been dominant. Look at that. Oklahoma was dominant 48-57. Then Texas turned it around, and Oklahoma turned it around, and now Texas. For the Sooners, first down. And Bradley comes down on the option, flips outside. It's tough to make a cut. Couldn't do it. June James, number 62, the linebacker, just kept drifting out, and he made the tackle on Spencer Tillman.
Nice wrench work, Chief.
Second down and about 16 as Bradley whips the pass to the sidelines, and it's pulled down by Sewell, and Sewell tumbles on out of bounds up at the 34. So they'll be looking at 3rd and long now.
Tony's a great defensive tackle. Number 99 is the best at his position in America. One man cannot keep him off the passer. You should use your center or back someone to help him. As soon as the offensive guard Pickett lets him go, 73 comes, and also the fullback comes in, Johnson, and helps him. 3 men on him, really. That's what it takes sometimes to keep a player like the great off of the passer.
They come with Rhymes and Sewell now to the bottom of the picture on 3rd down and 8. Bradley rolls it out, gets it away, pass here. Oh, great catch by Earl Johnson. A great effort by Johnson. The pass was overthrown, but he managed to tip it just enough and bring it down, and he is close to a first down.
Texas linebackers put a lot of pressure on the passer. Number 62, James, is the linebacker. And Bradley has to throw the ball going back, but look at that catch. One-handed. It's according to the spot. As to whether it's a first down, it's going to be very close. Had he been able to catch the ball and run with it, he would have gone a long, long way.
First down.
Here again, we see the big advantage that Oklahoma has this game with Johnson and Tillman in the ball game. Johnson rushed for 900 yards last year. Tillman over 1,000. They're back together in the same backfield for the first time this fall.
Right now, though, it's interesting to note on this stat that Oklahoma picked up 34 yards on the first 8 rushing attempts. Over the last 4 attempts at running, they've lost 26, so they netted 8.
That's the Texas defense at its best.
Quick handoff to the up man. Johnson, Earl Johnson. He may have a cracked kneecap and all of that, but he seems to have the old explosive power as he pops through there.
One thing a fullback in the wishbone is going to get a lot of work. You can see what Earl did last year as a freshman. He missed 2 football games, half of another one, and still rushed for that many yards. But the fullback is going to get a lot of work, Keith.
He is the kind of player that might get nothing for a while and then boom, go 80 on you. Detroit leading in the World Series now 3-1 after their 4-2 victory today over the Padres. Second down, 6. Same call, same man, midfield.
Well, the Texas defense has 2 big defensive tackles lined up over the offensive guards, and they are the heart and soul of this penetrating defense. They charge and read the blocks, with the charge being far more important than the reading the blocks. They try to penetrate and make some bad things happen. It's the toughest defense, I think, to block in America. Most coaches will agree.
It is 3rd down and 3, Oklahoma. With number 1 Texas leading number 2 Oklahoma 7-0. As we go inside, 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, Danny Bradley rolling it. Not a problem. All the way back on the 36-yard line, James McKinney, a junior from Austin, defensive end, corralled it.
McKinney only has 1 sack this season. Number 87 gets away from the blocker, Dillingham, number 59. And Bradley, really, that's what we call a coverage sack, because receivers were covered. Bradley had no one to throw to.
Mike Winchester in to punt. I'll bet you he tries to catch this one. He got it all right. And gets it out. Not a particularly good punt, though. Let's see about the roll. Shanked it out of bounds. So Winchester, having his problems on this wet day, gets 22 yards on the punt. And Texas, but it's just beginning.
He's been averaging 41 yards for the season.
Coming up on first down, Texas now at their own 42 with Morshell and Johnson lined up behind Todd Dodge. They give it to the fullback, Johnson. And Jerome is up to the 46. He picks up about 4.
Interesting about Johnson, the fullback. He's a senior. He's never lettered in Texas. Only carried the ball 5 times up until this time. But the regular fullback, Orr, is playing most of the time at fullback because of the injury to Simmons, who had such a great game in this contest last season.
Yeah, a lot of people think if Texas had Edwin Simmons healthy, it'd be Katie Barr at the door.
Be awesome, but their offense already is awesome. 37 points a game without him.
Call it second down, and it's more 7 than 6. Again, Johnson gets the call, and the fullback is caught and dragged down as he reaches the 49, and Tony Casillas, 270-pound junior out of Tulsa, is the man making a stop.
The man that Casillas is playing on Chilton, number 74, and number 69, the backup left guard for Texas, could not hold him, and he pulls right off. The backup guard being Blackmore. He's alternating starting.
And the last second ticks off the first quarter clock here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And after 1 period of play, it's Texas 7, Oklahoma nothing. That is a big old cowboy welcoming everybody to the Texas State Fairgrounds. And the numbers on this first quarter of play are a little misleading. Texas has only 1 first down. Right now, the Longhorns 3rd down and call it 4. With Michael Brown in the backfield. And Dodge swings it out to Orr dives for the marker. Can't get there. They bring him down at the 49, and it brings up 4th down for Texas on the first play of the second quarter.
You can see that Oklahoma's rushing is -2. That's important because Oklahoma needs to have some success early. They only rushed for 9 first downs last year against this Texas defense. So you can see that they've got real problems unless they can make the big play. Oklahoma, of course, as defense has been bright also.
It's very interesting, though, Frank. They gained 34 on 8 carries and now have lost 36 on 7.
That's the Texas style, throwing for losses, penetrating on virtually every play.
Kick. That is Sonny Brown watching it roll, and he's killed it deep.
What a bad fundamental error by Oklahoma. He should have fair caught the ball at the 20-yard line. That was a...
Sonny Brown, sophomore, let it go, and Telchik nailed it down at the 2-yard line. And next week we have 3 games for you on our presentation of CFA football on ABC. Boston College at West Virginia, LSU in Kentucky, and BYU Air Force. 3 good ball games.
Keith Brown just was a little bit shaky. Didn't want to come up and catch that ball. It was right in the middle of the crowd. You have extra protection now. Your defensive man can get within 2 yards of you. Now Oklahoma's really in the hole.
They're not even at the 2. It's short of the 2. Lydell Carr is in the lineup for the first time. They give it to Tillman. He pops out of there. Spencer Tillman is out of bounds. Up past the 25. Tony Griffin finally got him, and Tillman almost exploded out of there and ran the length of the field.
Here's what a straight runner can do. There's nothing there. Oh, Texas linebacker Edwards hit him right there in the line of scrimmage. Number 63 weighs 260. Little Spencer Gilbert, playing his first game of the season, had a pull muscle in the lineup for the first time.
That could have been a flag, too, because
Yes.
the tackle was well out of bounds. But it's first down Sooners. They've got breathing room at their 25. Trailing 7-0 to the Longhorns. And the handoff to Tillman again. He may not be the healthiest fellow in town, but he looks all right to me. He had a severe groin pull. And Ty Allard, linebacker for Texas, involved in the play.
A little misdirection. You can see him step to the right because the quarterback went in that direction. Now he comes back and fills the hole right there. Now he pulls back in and makes the tackle on Tillman. 48, Ty Allard.
Tillman now 8 carries and 47 yards, so Oklahoma is in the plus side of their rushing game early in the second quarter. This is Tillman again. And he's up to the 35, and he's got a first down. Oklahoma remains relatively impressive running the ball. Here's Jim.
You've been told that SMU Baylor is final at 24-20. The man who succeeded Lance McElhenney as quarterback for SMU is Don King. Not this Don King. This one's a junior from Dallas. And he ran for a touchdown and threw a touchdown pass to Ron Morris in the last 3 minutes of the game to bring the Mustangs back from down 20-10 and give them another heart-stopping victory. They're now 34-2-1 in regular season since 1980. Now let's go back to Keith and Frank in Dallas.
They play in 2 weeks down at Austin, SMU in Texas. Games are out. A little short, huh?
About an inch, Keith. About an inch for a first down. Third down, Oklahoma has been trying to go for the first down. Nothing fancy. But the big play, to beat Texas, you have to make the big play. You have to go on the big plays. You cannot do it piecemeal, short yardage at a time.
Raining again, and raining quite hard.
Bradley usually quarterback sneaks right here.
He's got a gap. There's a gap in the middle of that 4-man front of Texas. He might have enough room to get it. He does.
Anytime on short yardage, if you can go over the uncovered offensive lineman, as Chief just pointed out, it's pretty much of a cinch first down because you get a little bit of natural hole in the beginning and you follow the center for the yardage needed. That's a surprise score with 2 very fine offensive football teams. And look at Florida and Tennessee. Galen Hall, the interim coach, has done a great job. He's undefeated.
Florida's got some heavyweights coming up now. Georgia, Auburn.
Whoa, there'll be some good ones.
Florida State plays Auburn tonight. First down from the 37. Bradley going down the line with it. Keeps it. He looked back to see where the trailer was, and the trailer was gone. Somebody had cut him down, Spencer Tillman, so Danny had to eat it, and he picks up about 3. Well, Minnesota winning the third game.
Yeah, Lou Holtz won his third game. That's tremendous. Chief Jerry Gray made a tremendous play on that pass. He was covering the receiver, gave up the receiver when he saw it wasn't a pass. He was looking at Michigan State and came back and helped on the tackle. Just tremendous for the All-American Gray.
41-yard line. Second down and a long 6. That's Sewell in motion as they break the bone, and Bradley coming this way. Well, when you look up and you see that you're running right between 2 great big old hunks in white, and you know full well that when you make the turn upfield, there's going to be another one waiting for you, and sure enough, the strong safety, Stephen Bragg, was right there.
Well, as we said earlier, Bradley is going to have a busy afternoon running the option plays, throwing the ball, reading the defenses, using audibles. He is the key. He's done quite well so far.
He's looking at 3rd down and 4.
There he is, number 1.
Ball is on the 43. Drop back. Sideline. He's right up there even with the marker, Steve Sewell. And you know what? I don't think they gave him the spot.
They didn't. The official moved the ball back. He slid. It's going to be 4th down and probably an inch, or they're going to measure it.
He didn't make it.
And it's going to be within an inch.
He slid on his rump for about 6 yards, and he just simply didn't get enough of a mark.
Oklahoma is not going to take a chance here in the wet field. I believe if it was a dry day, you can see how wide open Sewell is. He has it.
Now, look where the ball is, though. Now, the body is upfield.
Right on the line. It's very close. Very close. But Oklahoma is not going to take a chance. They believe in their defense. They can stop Texas. Why take a chance here with a wet ball?
Well, they need a kick from Winchester, Frank. He hasn't hit one yet. That's better. Goes into the end zone. Couldn't get a bounce on it. His first 2 kicks were 31 and 22, and now into the wind. Winchester hits one 53. Coming down at the Cotton Bowl, and before the game today, I talked to Coach Barry Switzer about the impact of the weather.
No, I've always been the one that said that when it hurts an option football team and helps a passing team somewhat because the receivers can run their routes under control. The defensive back obviously doesn't know where the receiver's going to run the route and might lose his footing, and I'm concerned about that today, but it hurts both teams.
They had a struggle themselves to get to the ballpark because of the traffic and the water everywhere.
The first down that Oklahoma made coming off the 1-yard line put the Texas back deep and saved them from probably another touchdown.
God fumbled the football, but he was down. He was down. He was down back at the 14. I'll give you an idea how wet it is. I mean, you can get some hydroplaning out there amongst these running backs. There's so much water on the field.
Keith, yes, he called the receiver, the quarterback down. Keith, he's running in this direction in the green. Remember we talked about in the AstroTurf, the grain lays towards the press box, and he's running with it. It's like a downhill putt. When you try to cut in this direction, you have no footing whatsoever. Now let's see. If his knee is down while he has possession of the ball, yes, the arm and meeting the turf knocks the ball out. Good call by the referee.
At the 14, we're at second down and 16, and this is Terry Orr carrying, the senior from Abilene, and he bangs his way up beyond the 18. It'll be third down and about 12 with ABC's NFL Monday night game coming this next Monday night. The Denver Broncos, who are red hot in that western area against the Green Bay Packers out of the Central Division. John Elway in his second season. John and company doing very well. And the Denver defensive guys are just playing up a storm.
Third and long, probably a running down.
Well, it didn't work.
Texas not going to throw the ball on this part of the field on third and long. They're playing conservatively. Tennessee is to avoid losing with a wet ball and a wet field, a 7-0 lead, and a defense like they possess.
The pressure grows as every minute goes by in this ball game on Messrs. Winchester for Oklahoma and John Pelchik for Texas. They are the punters. First thing is Frank delineated a moment ago. First thing in a day like this, catch it. Then kick it.
Look how well Pelchik has punted for Texas. And he's moved.
Oh, man, that is a howitzer. All the way back to the 23. And Shepard is whipsawed at the 30. A 57-yard punt and a driving rainstorm and a 7-yard return. 7-0 Longhorns. That may be the most important extremity in this stadium, the foot of John Pelchik, as he just bombed a punt 57 yards.
And very little return. Excellent coverage by the special team of Texas. John Hagee was down there making a tremendous play.
Sooners go to work at their 30 with Patrick Collins in the ball game for the first time at left halfback, replacing Spencer Tillman. Tillman can't play the whole day because he has not been engaged in game competition. Bradley throws a knuckleball up. There's a penalty flag downfield, and the Sooners have got a break.
I believe it's on the offense, Keith.
Really?
I believe that Reeves pushed him off. No, he didn't either.
Well, Buster's the one
Ryan, I mean.
jumping up and down, but Bradley was just level. I mean, just clobbered as he released the ball.
Yes, it was on the offensive receiver.
Disregard the penalty. The ball was not catchable, therefore no pass interference.
Way to go, John McClintock.
I want to
Watch Bradley now. What happens to him?
Look, the great number 99 is the premier defensive tackle in America. That's Adams, number 96 there. Yes, he was from the right side. You can see that he throws Bradley. I told you before, Bradley is going to be the busiest player in this ball game.
So there's no penalty on it. Second down and 10. Shepard is the wide man, the bottom of the picture. Danny Bradley whips it out very quickly. That's caught by Patrick Collins, and Collins hits the chalk at the 33.
Keith, I don't understand the rationale of wiping off pass defense even though the pass is not catchable, because if you can't get to the ball with a defensive man holding you, certainly the pass is not catchable, and that's somewhat what happened on that particular play. I don't know how our rules committee came up with that. They did, and I guess they had good rationale. I've never seen it. Understood it.
In some sense, I can understand the good part of it. Bradley's got a problem. Danny looked upfield. He couldn't find a soul, and by the time he started to get his feet on the ground and start to move around, big Ralph Darnell was all over him. Senior out of Mesquite, number 94, and Oklahoma will go to the punt.
Never, never, never get in long yardage against Texas. Why? Because they are so big and so strong. You can see them putting the pressure on Bradley. He wants to scramble, but the turf won't allow him. 94 comes in. Darnell.
And the heat's on Winchester. Mike standing back inside his 5. Handles it all right. Gets a low punt out. Has good carry, however, and it runs Kelvin Epps back to his 37. And they tackle him at the 38. Good kick, 45-yard punt that time by Mike Winchester with 7:44 to go in the first half. And number 1 Texas leading number 2 Oklahoma 7-0. 7 Fred Akers in his first game against Barry Switzer and the Oklahoma Sooners. He used a hammer named Earl Campbell on his way to the Heisman Trophy that year. Campbell ran for 124 yards, and Texas beat Oklahoma 13-6. Indeed, this whole series has produced some great games. And it's 7-0 right here with Morshell and Johnson in the backfield now for Texas as they go to work from their 39. And reverse with Kelvin Epps, the track man, and the ball squirting around. Johnson covers it for Texas.
Dodge was hit while the ball was in his hand, not protected. And the ball is going to fall right on the ground, and it's very lucky that Johnson was right there waiting because he sees the play. You can see Johnson, number 80, right there, and then number 35 for Texas,
Johnson.
which is also Jerome Johnson.
He should have given it to Epps, Frank, because Epps had 40 acres to run on.
Just believe I'd keep it up if I get it back. I wouldn't be tossing around. Nice long yardage. Let's see if Texas will go to the air. Only once have they thrown on long yardage, and it was for a touchdown.
Ball is inside the 31. Second down and 19. Dodd's going to put it up. Dodd gets it away, loops it to the sidelines, and it's out of bounds. I think the Oklahoma man, Andre Johnson, came down with it, but he was out of bounds.
Oh, that was fine defensive play. Dodge shows what he does best, rolling out and throwing to the wide receiver. That ball is wet. You can see that it sails just a little bit. But like that, Johnson has great position, tries to pull it in, 1 foot, but he still is juggling the ball. He didn't have control of it. Nice third and long again.
Dodge is 1 out of 5, 25 yards, but it was the big one. It put the 7 points on the scoreboard in the first quarter. We've got 6:54 to play now in the second quarter. Dodge, same setup, stops a little shorter with it on a sprint this time and throws it down the middle, and it's incomplete. He had one man, Bill Boy Bryant, going, but Bryant had drawn 2 Sooners to his side. The penalty flag thrown back up at the 26.
Casillas, number 92, is going to get double blocked. He's too good to let one man just stay there and block him. You can see that they move around. He's up on the guard. The back guard, you can see a beautiful double team to keep him off the pass.
It's also holding.
But I think that Oklahoma will refuse the penalty, force the punt.
A 10-yard holding penalty. On the offense, it's declined. They'll be 4th down.
Why not back him up?
I was going to say, Keith, with the wet field and no more passing ability that Texas has shown, and all running ability so far, I believe I'd take that 10
Well,
yards.
shoot, it was 4th and 19. You take 10 more, you got 4th and 29.
And hope that they do throw it.
Yes.
Got a better chance to intercept and score from here than you have to catch the punt and move the length of the field in 6.5 minutes against the Texas Longhorn defense, which is recognized as the best in the country.
Belgic is in to punt. This time Derek Shepard is deep for Oklahoma. Boy, that kick and kick. Whoa, boy, did he nail one. And it's in the end zone. Oh, that's 69-yard punt. Only fellow I know kicked that far is Jim Lampley.
Keith, we've been keeping you up to date on the progress of previously unbeaten Army. Today, midway the 4th quarter at Rutgers, Scott Spellman went down the sideline 78 yards in a tight ball game for an apparent Army touchdown. But officials ruled that Spellman had stepped out of bounds early in the run. Army failed to score on the drive. Rutgers went on to a 14-7 victory. Army's first loss and another great win for Dick Anderson at Rutgers. Back to you, Keith.
Dick was the coach at Penn State for many, many years under Joe Paterno. Congratulations to him.
Oklahoma goes to work now from the 20 with Earl Johnson and Spencer Tillman in the backfield, and Bradley keeps it from the 20 with Earl Johnson and Spencer Tillman in the backfield, and Bradley keeps it, wants to give it away, but Texas had penetrated, and they were shielding the trailing man Tillman away from the ball. Bradley had to keep it, and he gets whacked right at the 20.
To me, I guess I haven't seen anybody run an option play on Texas in 8 years and be effective with it. Look at now, in a wet day, what more can you want? A Texas defense like they possess and a kicker like Pelchik. Boy, that's a tough combination on a wet field.
That 69-yarder is his longest ever.
I don't ever remember kicking one quite that far.
But you could nip it out of the 2, Coach.
39 yards was my average. Never returned them, though.
Second down as Lydell Carr comes in at fullback. Bradley goes to the tight side of the field and gets around the corner for about 3, maybe 4, before he runs out of real estate. The one thing you could do was knock that thing dead, though. I tell you, hit the front of that ball and spin it backwards. Washington, they're at Stanford with that ball game. We were out there a couple of years ago and did a Washington-Stanford game, and Huskies were seemingly on their way to the Rose Bowl, and Stanford knocked them off, but I guess not this year. There's the big surprise they were talking about a while ago with the Illini kicking Ohio State sideways. And Alabama now out 6-0 on 2 field goals over Penn State in the 4th quarter. Ray Perkins needs a win. It would make his life much more tolerable in Tuscaloosa. Well, you got a penalty flag there. I don't know if the Texas man started too soon. Bradley scrambling up to about the 29, but it looked like there was a white shirt across the neutral zone.
Well, it's just a question whether he was drawn by the offensive lineman who was setting back to pass. We'll just have to wait and see.
Chalmer Adams was the man, big junior out of Waco, and it's offside against the Horns.
Well, that'll put it third down in about a yard. Gives them a running situation. I know that if you're coaching against the Texas defense, and I keep saying it is respected more than any defense in America. It's a different concept as we look at some more scores. UCLA leading Washington State. You don't want to get long yards against Texas. Avoid it at all costs. Look at that great win for Air Force, third in a row.
Offside on the defense. Still be third down.
With 5:42 to go in the first half. Illinois now has posted Ohio State to make it 24-14 against Illinois.
Two tight ends, a running offense for the wishbone.
He needs about a yard and a half, doesn't he? Yep,
Yeah.
about a yard and a half.
He'll probably go to Tillman.
Went to Carr. And I don't know if Carr got it.
He did not get it. Well, it's the spot. According to where they spot. Yeah,
Well, they've spotted it just over the 30.
Well, that's a first down. The ball was kicked over the goal line. That's a big first down. Texas, Oklahoma has got to make some big play. They've got to throw the ball short and run with it. That's what Auburn did, Chief. Auburn completed 14 out of 27 passes. The only team has come close to 50%, but they made yardage rushing, and then they were able to hit some passes on running downs. Throwing against Texas on a passing down, you've got to be an expert. Sophisticated passing teams.
An old thunderstorm sitting right out
And it's dark.
yonder. First downs, OU has 7, Texas only 1. Their first down is good for a touchdown. Bradley pitches that ball out to Spencer Tillman, and Tillman is dropped down just over the line of scrimmage. John Hagee, a freshman, number 17, has come in here and played sensational football. He made 3 big hits, including that play. Greta Weitz will be in the New York City Marathon this year, defending her championship. The young lady from Norway. Sunday, October 28, 10:30 Eastern Time. It's one of the spectaculars in sports anywhere in the world. You'll see it here on ABC. Second down and 10. Bradley going deep. Buster Rhymes can't hold on. Number 17, Hagee, was back covering him, so the freshman makes another big play. He's 6'1", 180. Frankly, I think, Frank Royals, that if the ball had been thrown another 10 yards, Rhymes has the speed to run it down.
Rhymes runs 9-4-100, number 4. You can see he's going on a post route. Hagee's covering him man for man. He turns and runs with. This is the way Texas plays pass defense. Running side by side or chasing you. They don't play behind you. The ball was underthrown, as Keith mentioned. Hagee wrestles the ball free, and he goes incomplete.
And it's third down and 10. Option with Bradley. Outside to Tillman. Ball bounces away. Skittering toward the sidelines. And Texas has it. Jerry Gray covers it.
Boy, you just don't pitch the ball on the option play when you're harassed by the defense way out like this, with the Tillman being only about 3 yards from him. He doesn't have time. Now the play, Texas plays it beautifully by stringing it out. Right there, you can see that Tillman just took his eyes off of it. Number 34. I don't think he would have made anything. Gray, number 2, was right there. Another break for Texas. Oklahoma defense rise to the occasion.
Last time Oklahoma gave it to him, they gave it to him on the 26, and Texas cashed it in. Now they've got it on the 26 again with 4 minutes to play, first half.
Throw on first down. That's usually what Freddie does.
Nope. Go to the I-back, Terry Orr, the big man, and he gets 2 yards to the 24. There's Jerry Gray, All-American.
He's the best at his position for 2 reasons. One, he's a center fielder. Number 2, he's a tackler, a linebacker, led the team in tackles last year. And thirdly, an extra is he's the leader of the football team. That defensive unit believed in him. He's the one that peps them up, calls the coverages, and dictates what everybody's to do. Just a great football player.
Second down and 8 for the Horns, leading 7-0. Oklahoma 24. Dodge gives it to Orr. Orr is caught and dragged down by number 50, Dante Jones, a redshirt freshman from Dallas.
every time you use her to...
Dodge with a lot of time. Now goes short with it.
Bryant slipped down, Keith. Number 80 was the target. He slipped down trying to make his cut. Dodge had nobody to throw to.
Tried to dump it to Orr, and Orr wasn't anywhere near Terry, so it brings up the 4th down.
We'll see it again. Bryant, number 80, who caught the first touchdown pass, going down and out. Watch his feet as he tries to cut towards the press box. It's just like running or putting downhill, as I've said, with the grain. The feet go right out from under.
Jeff Ward is in for a field goal from 40 yards.
He's 1 out of 4 this year, 15 out of 16 last year as a freshman.
Out of foot. Good. So at 2:34 to play in the first half, the top-ranked Texas Longhorns have moved out to a 10-0 lead over number 2 Oklahoma. Hard rain coming down again, and a lot of eyebrows being moved around by umbrellas down in that crowd. As Texas leads by a score of 10-0, Buster Rhymes and Patrick Collins now will be deep to receive the Texas kick, and it goes skittering on the ground. Picked up cleanly, however, by Buster Rhymes. And Rhymes, the former running back, does a good piece of running here to get himself out to about the 28 where the Sooners would go to work. It's been a long time, Frank, since I've had to empty my shoes. But walking from the parking lot all the way around the Cotton Bowl to get into place this morning.
You should have come early like I did. I got here before the rain.
I couldn't. It took me an hour and a half to get here.
Crowds are just tremendous on the freeway.
Oklahoma averaging 233 yards per game rushing coming into this ball game. In their previous 4 games, they have 34 so far today. Collins and Johnson along the school in the backfield. And Bradley, the quarterback, going down the line with it. Texas strings him out. Ty Allert runs him down and drops him at the 25. Number 48 makes the tackle.
When you have linebackers that run like fullbacks, why shouldn't you have a great defense? Ty Allert, number 48, just plays the play down the line, strings it out, waits for the quarterback to come to him. And you see that he can run just as fast as Bradley can. He's right there on top of him, makes the play. Once again, Texas defense showing how brilliant they are, how they play the option play. It's just unbelievable, successful, and there is the ring.
It's like somebody turned over a big bucket. 2nd down, 13. Bradley back. And he whips it to the sideline. And the legs are taken from under the intended receiver, Sewell, by John Hagee. I thought that might have been an interference.
Well, the rule is that he has to keep his hands or body off of the receiver until he's touched the ball. The judgment of the official was that the receiver had touched the ball by the time Hagee had number 17 make the play. Let's see if we can judge from here. Very close. Official right there. Split crew working this ball game. 3 officials from the Big 8, 3 from the Southwest Conference.
And it's 3rd down and still about 13.
Watch out, Danny Bradley.
Runs the option. Patrick Collins can't make the cut.
Here we see the cut. The thing that we talked about earlier, the disadvantage of the wishbone on a wet field, having to turn very quickly, just impossible running this direction with the grain of the AstroTurf.
Well, you had that, and that's what we have at halftime. We had that at Arkansas before you took it out, where one side of the field was like sliding around on graphite, and the other side, you could make your cuts all right.
That's exactly what happened. Oklahoma's got to be careful with this punt. Catch the ball is what he told him before he went out there. They're using that ball as one. No. Shanked
he didn't get it.
Shanked it.
Well, he had a little trouble getting a handle on it. Little trouble getting a hold of the ball. With 51 seconds to play, Texas back in business. Come back to live action at the Cotton Bowl. Jerome Johnson carries on the 1st down play for Texas. The ball marked just inside the Oklahoma 45, and he didn't gain much at all. That was a 21-yard punt by Winchester. And timeout now called by Texas with 37 seconds to go in the first half. Now that we've seen the UT campus in Austin, let Boston College playing Temple today. LSU and Kentucky, the southeastern part of the country, and out west, Brigham Young and Air Force. Boston College undefeated off 3 weeks before they play today.
Those three teams on the left have got some passing attack and three great quarterbacks. Oh, not saying the other teams don't, but those three on the left can throw the football. Wickersham at LSU, Bosco and Flutie.
37 seconds to go in the first half. Texas trying to wiggle it down there and get some more. Todd Dodge goes to the air. There's a penalty flag thrown and intercepted by Oklahoma at the 26-yard line. Stepping in front of the pass is Jim Rockford, the right cornerback. Let's see about the penalty flag back upfield. Could be holding against Texas. It is. Oklahoma obviously will take the football.
Casillas, number 92, seems to be the man that would be at hell.
We have a 10-yard.
You can see number 74 is using his hands, Chilton, as he goes to his side, and now he's got his hands all over him. Well, that's illegal.
But Oklahoma intercepted the football just beyond their 26, and the Sooners, with 31 seconds to play in the first half, now will try to do something.
Last year, the Texas defense shut down the Oklahoma offense like it hasn't been stopped in years.
Well,
less than 200 yards.
Let me tell you this. So far, in the first half, Oklahoma is averaging less than a yard per rush. 0.06 or 0.6.
East and west on wet field won't get it done, but that's their game plan, and it's just too bad it's wet.
That's Earl Johnson carrying. You're not going to beat a lot of folks when you're gaining 24 inches per run.
No, you got to go. Texas, you have to get in big chunks. It's either feast or famine. The Texas team either wins it big or on each play, or you win it big. And if you don't win some big plays, you're not going to beat them, as they're going to let the clock run out.
Oklahoma not spending its time out, so they're just going to let it run out and go to the clubhouse and try to cinch things up with the Longhorns leading by a score of 10-0 at halftime, and now all decked out in this sou'wester to talk to Coach Fred Akers. Here is Tim Brent.
All right, Keith, I'm with Coach right now, and Coach defense shut them down, and you capitalized on mistakes, but the biggest thing I would have to say right now is Selchuk kicking and Ward's field goal kicking game.
Well, when we came into this ball game, we knew it was going to be a tough defensive day, and we're going to count on our kicking. We were able to take advantage of the one big mistake they made in the kicking game and scored. That's all there's been. Great defense.
Let's look at the other side now, Fred, and play devil's advocate for a second. Now, bad weather like this, you think ball control is the key. You guys don't have any first downs other than the touchdown.
That's right, and they're entrenched along that front. Ball handling is a little suspect, and we're going to have to go right at them. Try to get more punching it out running. We can't just keep winging it.
Before you go, let me ask you this. Now, this is an old carpet, 1976. You said the footing is atrocious. Do you make them all go to rain cleats now, the longer cleats?
What they ought to do is go to Super Turf.
All right, Fred, thank you very much. All right. Well, he didn't answer the question, but it sounds good to me. We'll be back with today's halftime activities after this message and a word from our local station. Back at the Cotton Bowl with head coach Barry Switzer of Oklahoma. You couldn't get around the corner. You were running that option, footing's atrocious. What do you do, Coach? Go back inside now with Tillman and Johnson?
Well, we'll have to run at him. It's kind of a strange game where your opponent not have a first down and you're behind 10-0. Our defense is playing extremely well. Our offense is at terrible field position. Hopefully we will get a mistake that they make the second half and get back in this thing.
Can you throw the ball?
Well, we're trying to. Protection's a little problem. They're a good defensive football team, but I think we can. We've got to come back and assault them inside. East and West can't get it done.
Very quickly now. You got to get back. But what's the problem with the kicking game?
Well,
Barry Switzer of Oklahoma. You couldn't get around the corner. You were running that option, footing's atrocious. What do you do, Coach? Go back inside now with Tillman and Johnson?
Well, we'll have to run at him. It's kind of a strange game where your opponent not have a first down and you're behind 10-0. Our defense is playing extremely well. Our offense is at terrible field position. Hopefully we will get a mistake that they make the second half and get back in this thing.
Can you throw the ball?
Well, we're trying to. Protection's a little problem. They're a good defensive football team, but I think we can. We've got to come back and assault them inside. East and West can't get it done.
Very quickly now. You got to get back. But what's the problem with the kicking game?
Well, that's what really hurt us. We thought we had a good kicking game coming in, but we made a couple of critical mistakes there that have really given them their 10 points.
Okay, good luck, Barry. Back upstairs to you, Keith.
All right, and Oklahoma will kick off to Texas, and it's starting to rain some again, but most of this crowd of some 75,000 plus have persevered. I see some empty seats about. They have gone out to change clothes and come back. Here's the kickoff. High hanger that goes into the end zone where Kelvin Epps, 5 yards deep, will not return it, and Texas will go to work up on the 20, and the people charged with stopping the Horns. Darrell Reed, defensive end, 220. Jeff Tupper, 265 at tackle. Tony Casillas, 270 at nose guard, and a great one, Steve Bryan, 240 at tackle, and the other defensive end is Troy Johnson. The linebackers, Paul Milazzo, a sophomore for Oklahoma, and Brian Bosworth, the redshirt freshman. They have 2 sophomores and 2 freshmen among their top 4 linebackers. Texas comes up with Terry Orr, the I-back, and Jerome Johnson, the fullback, behind Todd Dodge. Bill Boy Bryant wide along with Brent Buhan. And Todd Dodge earns it outside, and as he makes this cut to come upfield, immediately loses footing and slides out of bounds. Andre Johnson, a cornerback, 6'1", 185. Jim Rockford had an interception, 5'10", 180. Keith Stansberry, a 4-year starter at 6'1", 205, strong safety, and the free safety is Sonny Brown, 6'2", and 190.
This is what Oklahoma wants to do, force Texas into a possible mistake and give them good field position. As Barry Switzer said, bad field position give them no chance to score.
2nd down and 8 from near the 22 for Texas. And they go to Orr, pops it off outside, and gets a first down as he crosses the 30. Troy Johnson and Brian Bosworth, but somebody had contact with him at the line of scrimmage, and he just bounced it outside. And that's the longest Texas run so far.
Good cut by Orr. The play was designed to go inside in behind the fullback Johnson, but he breaks outside where the linebackers had rolled in and left themselves vulnerable through the outside cut in the first half.
Just starting the second half of play. It's the ball game matching number 1 Texas and number 2 Oklahoma. First down Horn over the 30. Orr again, this time Terry trying to bounce to the outside again, loses his footing, and down he goes. There's your offensive lineup, the same unit that started the ball game. Number 44, Brian Bosworth, is the man, the linebacker, freshman, looking to the sidelines. It looks to me like he's the man who sets him up defensively.
Just a freshman.
He can do that at a freshman, Frank. He may be a holy terror by the time he's a senior.
But Barry Switzer says he's the best young linebacker they've had in many, many years.
On 2nd down and 8, try to give it to the up man, Johnson. And Johnson can't do a thing with it. So they'll be looking at 3rd and long, and Tony Casillas right in the middle of the melee.
Well, when you have a nose guard like Casillas, you expect good plays for him, particularly straight ahead. Chilton is trying to block him, who's a fine player, was a tackle last year. You can see his number was 74, but he cannot move that tank. Nice 3rd down, Chief. It's going to be interesting to see. Will Texas go to the air to try to get the ball or stay conservative, keep the ball or stay conservative?
Well, will you think Oklahoma loaded up? It looks like they might be thinking blitz. No. Try to go outside with it. Dodge gets his pass off, and the pass off the hands of Johnson and incomplete, and it's 4th down. Dodge is now 1 out of 9. That one completion went for the touchdown.
Texas has punted the ball 5 times and has outkicked Oklahoma 16 yards per punt. 50-yard average for Texas. OU 34. Old defensive coaches say, hey, we've made a 1st down and a half every time we've had to punt the ball. And that's accurate, too, because that's yardage gained one way or another. Hidden yardage, we called it. You can see his average.
He had a 69-yarder in this ball game today. Gets off another good one. Derek Shepard in the rainstorm, drifts back, catches it, cuts it upfield. And Shepard comes back from the 26 up to about the 34. We've got 12:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. That was a 42-yard punt by Telson. Score, Barry Switzer feels his team received an obvious boost with the return of running backs Tillman and Johnson.
It has to be. It's a morale booster for the coaches. You know, when you have 2 backs that have gained 2,000 yards between them last season, and they've only got 48 this year, and that's Earl Johnson. And And Spencer hadn't carried it down. It's great to have him back because I think we can be a good offensive football team. Same for Texas. And they're missing Simmons, the big play back, and we're both hurt because of that.
Tillman has 49 yards of the ball game, but the losses total only to a net of 32 on 29 carries so far in the game. On first down, the handoff goes to Tillman, and Spencer Tillman looks terrific for his first football game. He picked up 9 right there. The Texas defensive unit dominating this ball game. James McKinney, he had a sack in the first half. Tony DeGreat, that mountain of a man at tackle. Bill Heathcock, who's of obvious size himself at 260, and Blake Brawner, the other end, at 235, all rangy. Linebackers are something. Ty Allert, Tony Edwards, and June James. If the first wall doesn't get you, the second one will. It's second down, call it about 2. They've got the first down as Earl Johnson slashes over the right side and goes to the 46. The secondary is James Lott, the Texas, a sophomore. Good size back there. Eric Jeffries, 6-footer. The other corner, Stephen Braggs, a strong safety, a 5'11", and Jerry Gray, the All-American, at 6'1", 185.
Texas defensive backs are such accurate and good tacklers. They really put the shoulder pads on these ball carriers close to the line of scrimmage.
From the 45, Oklahoma working with a first down. 11.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Oklahoma running inside with the football. They give it to the up man, Earl Johnson, that time, and Earl picks up short yardage on that carry. The offensive unit starting for Oklahoma, the same unit that started the ball game.
Barry Switzer, there's the offensive line. Barry Switzer says he's going to run right at him. He's run 4 plays, and he's made 1 first down and 3 yards on the first.
Do you know, Frank, if Oklahoma has in its playbook the play we saw last week, where a play that Oklahoma State used, where they put a wide receiver in there at a tight end position and set up a tight end screen? Remember that?
Yes.
The touchdown was called back?
Yes, I do remember. I don't know whether Texas has or not. Now they got...
Well, that's out of bounds off the chest of Steve Sewell. In the meantime, to give you an idea of what's going on, Danny Bradley and Tony Griffin wound up 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, sliding along in the water. They got up a little hot about things, too, both of them, but they were at least 20 yards back in the line of scrimmage.
Here's the seasonal rushing averages, 3-9. You see what they're doing against the Texas defense, because Oklahoma's been getting in the long yardage, and the Texas rush has sacked Bradley a number of times, losses a total of 8 different times.
Yeah. Danny's not all that tall. If it rains much more and he keeps getting knocked down, he's going to need a scuba.
He's the busiest guy on this football field, trying to run the option and also throw the pass, read the defenses, use audible.
He's looking at 3rd and 6 right now from midfield. This time he's got some protection, gets his pass away, and Sewell, he missed him. Sewell was out here by himself. Jerry Gray was trying desperately to get there, but couldn't, and the pass went inside of him. But Allert was one of the reasons.
Well, when the back on that side blocks, Allert can fire, number 48, so he can blitz in, and he's putting pressure along with Brawner on Bradley, and Bradley could not get his feet set and throw the ball. Bradley is not a passing quarterback. He's a running quarterback. He's been working hard with Mac Brown. He worked hard on him, but still not a passer.
Winchester's punt spins one up in the rain, got the wind at his back. They got a chance to kill it, and they do. They knock it down at the 2. So Mike redeems himself some with that effort. A 48-yarder, and it's dead down on the Texas 2. To go number 2, Oklahoma, nothing. Texas backed up, ball on the horn 2. Let's see if the Oklahoma defense lays its ears back here and goes after them. Remember, it is soggy. It is raining right now. They hand it off to the big back, Terry Orr. He pumps out to near the 5.
Well, both teams' defense have played just outstanding. Texas has made 1 first down other than their pass for a touchdown this entire ball game. So the Oklahoma defense has played just as effectively. They haven't recovered the fumbles.
Conditions not conducive to offense.
Not good footing. Keith, you made a good point. The offensive linemen have to have footing to fire out and make the blocks, and it's just hard to do.
Second down and 7. They stay with the big back oar.
Ball's loose.
Oh, fumble a football and a big stack at the 6-yard line.
Keith, I said if Oklahoma would score, I told you during the timeout they'll get a break here.
There's a pile of humanity on it, but it looks like Oklahoma. It is Oklahoma's football.
Once again, the kicking game is the difference, but when you run into the line of scrimmage, you can see penetration. Who was that on the right side? Must have been Flemings. He was the right tackle. He must have penetrated and reached in and knocked the ball loose. Number 93. See,
Keith Stanberry came out of there with it, so apparently Keith recovered the fumble.
Play. Barry Switzer said at halftime, play for the break. Oklahoma had 2 chances to recover fumbles deep in Texas territory in the first half. They didn't get it. Here's their break. Let's see what they can do. They hadn't scored yet.
From the 7. Johnson to the 5. Heathcock, the tackle.
Running away from the great. I don't blame him there. Running over to the left side of the Oklahoma offensive line, which has Colts and Burks, 2 seniors.
Well, this is a test of will right here, isn't it?
That's Stanberry, who recovered the fumble. He's from Mount Pleasant, Texas. Don Meredith's hometown.
Lydell Carr is in at fullback for Oklahoma, replacing Johnson. Over the top, it is Steve Sewell, wing-backing it in for the touchdown.
Watch Sewell, number 13, a senior, played a lot of position. He gets good blocking by Tillman and Johnson. Boy, look at the headgears down. Texas in that, taking them on the collision. But look at the stretch out of 6'4" Sewell as he goes over the top.
The extra point try by LaJar is good. And at 9 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, the Sooners are still in the hunt. It is now 10-7 for number 1 Texas.
From the makers of Michael Jordan to the Max comes Slam from the street. It's all the best passes, shots, and dunks to come off the playground. Slam from the street.
1978 in the Oklahoma-Texas series, it was Heisman Trophy winner Billy Sims, the hero, running for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns as Oklahoma, number 1 in the nation, going into the game, beat the Horns 31-10.
And Sims carried that football. Look at that gun. No wonder he was a Heisman Trophy winner.
Remarkable.
He was from over here in the little town called Hooks, Texas. I spent a few hours there myself.
Yes, you did.
Couldn't find him, though, before signing day.
The kickoff by Oklahoma. In and through the end zone. It'll come back to the 20, however, because the ball was touched.
He kicked
by
it.
a Texas man.
Number 51 kicked the Oklahoma player after the play. So that's going to put the ball back to the Texas 10-yard line, Keith. Way up here, useless. Nothing on the play. The Texas blocker was on top of the Oklahoma player. And as he got up, he kneed him, and the official saw it right there.
And they're discussing the penalty as to where they will spot the ball now after the, as Frank said, the useless penalty.
If I saw it correctly, and I think I did, it would be a dead ball foul. First down and 20 to go.
Yep. So Texas now has just fumbled the ball. Oklahoma recovered and scored from the 7. Now the Horns are backed up at their own 10 again.
Now, Keith, they're deciding right now whether it was a dead ball foul, meaning they put the ball on the 20-yard line and give Texas 20 yards to go for a first down, and that's what they're doing.
No, they're going back to the 10.
Yeah, but the down mark was up on the 20.
The 20, yeah. So it'll be 1st and 20. But under the circumstances and weather conditions and field condition, the most important factor is the ball is down on the Texas 10, and they just fumbled it away in their last possession.
Oh, the Oklahoma touchdown recharged that football team. The penalty was just useless up on the 40-yard line. The ball was kicked over the goal line. Young man just lost his cool there a little bit. There's the offensive breakdown. You can see it's been a more of a defensive struggle than anyone would have predicted.
Well, let's see if bad luck follows bad luck for Texas here. And the ball off inside. And Orr from the 10 to the 12.
Keith, I mentioned earlier, as Dan Akers, the Red son. Red has proven himself to be a giant of this profession. Dan, number 12, giving the signals into the quarterback. Freddie Akers has never lost a preseason game to the conference other than Oklahoma twice. Very analytical young man, coach. Knows what he's doing. Thinks everything very carefully.
Second down, 18. Or fair-sized hole for him over the left side, but he really can't get enough footing to get much on it. He comes out to about the 18. So they're looking at third down and about 12 now. Green Bay Packers and Denver Broncos on ABC's Monday Night Football next Monday night at 9 o'clock. Packers having trouble unwinding. Forrest Gregg trying to put them together. Meantime, the Denver Broncos are off to a whale of a start.
Draw play or a pass? Let's see which way they're going to go. Pass, bootleg.
Number 40 hits him as he releases. It's an incomplete forward pass, and upfield, you've got a penalty flag. In the secondary, you had a penalty flag. Darrell Reed, a defensive end, number 40, came flying in to hit Todd Dodge as he released it. But let's see about the flag upfield.
Boy, if it's against Oklahoma, that would be a big break for Texas.
John McClintock is the man in the white hat.
And that appears to, well, the Oklahoma people are waiting there listening to the call. No, it's against Texas. It was on a forward pass behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to wipe it off for the
Certainly
same reason they did before.
Same reason.
Yeah, the ball was actually thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
And so the men could be blocking, the offensive linemen could be blocking downfield. It happened down the bottom of your screen. When the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage, the lineman can be downfield blocking the linebackers even before the ball is caught. And that's what happened. The official wipes it off.
Now the pressure comes back to the punter. Telchik over his head. Out of the end zone. A 10-9 ball game.
Now Texas has to punt the ball from the 20, and it will be Oklahoma's ball again.
A safety for the Sooners as the ball is snapped out of the end zone by Terry Steelhammer.
One thing you try to teach your center, roll it back, but don't ever snap it over his head. You can do anything but that. Bounce it back. The kicker's always got a chance. That ball was so high, it was unbelievable. A 7-foot-tall kicker could not have got that one.
It is 10-9 now on the safety, and Texas will have to punt it away.
Go back and give Barry Switzer some credit here. He kicked off. It was his choice. He could have kicked off or received. He wanted to give Texas a chance to handle the ball on the wet turf, the slippery ball, and it's paid off for 9 points here. Jeff Howard, our producer, just said strange things happen in big ball games that sometimes lead to national championships. Texas has got to punt the ball. Will they place kick it or punt it? I would guess they would punt it.
Well, you come down to one of your words now, though, as far as Texas is concerned. They've got to collect themselves. It's time for poise.
Absolutely. They've got to believe their defense can still stop them as long as all 4 points have been given up by the offense. 4 scores. Safety, touchdown, touchdown, and field goal have all been involved with offensive mistakes. On a wet turf, rainy day, slippery ball.
Baylor, the other undefeated team in the Southwest, SMU at Baylor. SMU being the other undefeated team, just barely escaped today at Baylor, 24-21, and they were trailing in the fourth quarter, 20-10. Buster Rhymes and Derek Shepard are deep for the high-hanging punt. It's into the wind, and it's short. And a fair catch is called upfield and fumbled, and then picked up by Shepard. They're going to mark him down at the 28. David Vickers, a defensive back upfield, called fair catch. Then he fumbled the ball away, and it cost Oklahoma about 10 yards.
The officials are really thinking about what happened, because the question is, can he advance? And he cannot, in my judgment, he cannot advance the ball after it's a free kick, after a fair catch signal has been given. I think that's a 5-yard penalty, which will be 1st and 15 if, in fact, it remains Oklahoma's ball. It'll be 1st and 15, I think. Now their discussion. I haven't seen that in a long, long time, Keith.
I had a letter from somebody wondering last week, off last week's ball game, as to why when he picked up a fumble, he wasn't allowed to go on and score.
Well, if he picked up the fumble after the attempted at a fair catch, I don't believe he can advance the ball. I believe it's a penalty to try to advance it. Let's see if... No, I guess he can. So it's 1st and 10 only. I guess since he fumbled the fair catch signal, anybody that can, if it's anybody's ball, it'd be Texas ball. If they recovered it, Oklahoma can certainly advance it.
Oklahoma's 10 possessions thus far in the ball game have been 6 punts, a fumble, a muffed punt, and a touchdown.
Starting from the 6-yard line. Straight at him.
Earl Johnson and Spencer Tillman. This is Johnson. And from the 29, where they have put it down, he gets out near the 31, so give him a couple of yards. Washington big now over Stanford, 34-3. And Wyoming has jumped ahead of BYU in the 3rd quarter, 32-27. That's a wishbone team, Wyoming. Nebraska beat Missouri by 10. As we told you, SMU got past Baylor. Baylor always plays SMU tough.
They certainly do, Keith.
Ohio State's gone ahead of Illinois, 28-27, after being behind at one time, 24-7. 2nd down and 8. They stay with their ground game. Johnson and Tillman are the running backs right now. Air Force beat Notre Dame 21-7. I'm going to say something here before you say it.
Okay.
Having watched Notre Dame over the last 3 years, and having watched the team under Jerry Faust, who is a lovely man, I have the feeling that Jerry Faust as a head coach is not tough enough on his football players. I don't think it's a tough team.
Some people say he might not push his players hard enough, but the question and speculation is what's going to happen at the end of this year should he lose at least any more games. I happen to believe that Notre Dame will let him finish out his contract, and Jerry Faust is not a punter, and he'll be back next year. The only thing that could change that would be Notre Dame make the decision.
6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter in a 10-9 ball game.
Every time you use your Discover card, Discover will make a donation.
6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Oklahoma's football. They're looking at 3rd down and 4. The ball is marked at the 35 of Oklahoma, and Texas leads by a point. They are 2 out of 9. The Sooners are in 3rd down conversions today. Watching this game evolve, I think it also strengthens the point, Frank, that there perhaps is not a real dominant football team in the land this year at college level.
Keith, I think that's true. Texas is kind of reloading this year. They're not rebuilding, they're just reloading, and they're still pretty good. This turf has changed things dramatically.
Bradley back, whips it out here. His receiver, Sewell, falling down, catches the football at the 40.
It wasn't very good a pass. The ball's thrown way behind Sewell. He's wide open. Texas linebackers were supposed to cover him in the flat. They're nowhere near there. You could see how much yardage Sewell could have made had it been an accurate pass, but it was enough for a 1st down.
Only once before in regular season play, when numbers 1 and 2 have met, has number 2 won. Texas did it with Duke Carlisle at quarterback, and Duke is here watching the game today and went on to beat Oklahoma 28-7 and claim the national title. Earl Johnson and Spencer Tillman. This is Tillman. And Tillman, of all the running backs on the field, seems to be able to effect some decent posture and grip on the wet surface.
Keith, I believe I'd find out what kind of shoes he's got on, because you're exactly right. His little feet run like pistons. That's one thing. He doesn't lift them very much. They're right very close to the ground.
All great running backs are skaters.
You're exactly right. If they've got their feet up in the air very much, they're going to get hit hard and hurt.
Tillman 14 carries in the game for 68 yards. Carr is the fullback. That's Tillman again. He weighs 210 pounds, stands 5'11", so once he gets some momentum, he lays a pretty good lick on you.
Well, this Oklahoma team are doing exactly what Barry Switzer said, running right at the Texas defense, trying to pin them down. Texas got so much speed, and I guess trying to looking ahead to see which one of these teams, if they won, could they go ahead and win the national championship. I think either one of them would have an excellent chance because, Chief, of the defense. The defense of Oklahoma and Texas, I think, are superior to any that we've seen this year. And when you got good defense, good kicking, and when Tillman and Johnson get well and dry field, either team could go all the way.
48-yard line. It's 3rd down and 2 for the Sooners. They give the ball to Tillman, and he pops it. Tried to cut back as Jerry Gray came across to make contact, lost his footing, and down he went. But it's a 1st down for Oklahoma, just short of the Texas 40.
Look at the blocking on the right side of your line. Look at the hole. Texas got everybody up on the line of scrimmage. The 2 lead backs brought right through the line of scrimmage. Sewell and Johnson, and look at the wide open. Gray is the only man that could prevent a touchdown, but he's just the best in his trade. Number 2, All-American free safety. Prevented the touchdown.
Tillman is out. Collins is in for the Sooners. The ball is just inside the Texas 41.
Give the ball to fullback.
Carr. Whack.
Collins, the great number 99, believe it or not, is 6'4", 287. Maybe the biggest mobile, fast man we have in playing defense in America today. Watch him take on Pickett, release as a good linebacker does, a good lineman does, and makes the play along with help from his teammates.
I mean, he put him on his back.
Oh, yeah, just weighs 287.
2nd down, about 10. Well, that's Sewell. Steve Sewell is the quiet member of the backfield for Oklahoma. He was very prominent, however, when Tillman and Johnson were both missing from the lineup. But he's 6'4", 205 out of San Francisco. And BYU now back in front, 33-32. That ball's flying around out there, I'll bet you. And Ohio State has stretched it out now to an 8-point lead over Illinois. So the Buckeyes are storming back.
Keith, I want to pick up on that point about Sewell on the next play. Carry on what you're saying.
3rd, 5.5. Bradley loops it up in the air. He's got Sewell downfield. He caught it. And it's good. He had a foot in bounds at the 11 of Texas.
This is the same pattern that Arkansas scored on Texas when they were number 1 3 years ago. It's forcing the linebacker to cover the halfback out of the backfield, and he's nowhere around. You can see how wide open Sewell is. The men trailing him with a linebacker who was supposed to cover him. If he has possession of the ball and he's got both feet in bounds, he's got control of the ball, a legal reception.
Great catch by Sewell.
We were just talking about Sewell. He's a senior having his best year.
Tillman is back. Outside goes Sewell. Touchdown. Steve Sewell has scored both Oklahoma touchdowns, and the Sooners are storming in the 2nd half. They trailed 10-0 at halftime. They have come back now in the 3rd quarter to score 15 points. You've got 3:02 left in the 3rd quarter. And right now they're trying to make up their mind whether to go for 2.
Oklahoma seems to be going for 2, Keith. They lead by 15 points. Let's look at the touchdown again. Watch the left end. No. Regular play right here. Watch the blocking of the halfback. Tillman, number 34, makes the block. Then Sewell, recognizing that he can break to the outside, and he does for the touchdown. Just a second effort. Now let's watch the blocking. Number 85 goes in for the linebacker, and that's Berryhill, the tight end. He's going in, block the linebacker. Now the back is going to come out. Spencer Tillman. Watch Tillman right there. You see that the Oklahoma lineman got everybody bunched up right there. No one grasped, though, and the Texas defense relaxes just a little bit. And Sewell breaks to the outside, picking up the block of Tillman, and goes in for the touchdown.
That's an impressive possession, 71 yards in 10 plays on weather conditions like this. It was raining again, and they're going for 2. Bradley wants to throw it, loops it towards Sewell, off his hands, incomplete. Stephen Braggs came over and got a hand on it, and even though Steve Sewell was able to get his hands on it, he could not hold it. In 6 minutes and 12 seconds of the third quarter, Oklahoma has scored 15 points, and they lead by 5. It's Boston College. Undefeated. They're playing Temple today. They go against West Virginia, a winner, and it's at Morgantown. LSU and Kentucky was in trouble the last I saw, but I guess they had come back to lead in their game today. LSU is a team that appears to be growing in the Southeastern Conference, and Brigham Young is having its hands full today with Wyoming, and they take on the Air Force, victors over Notre Dame today. And there are the low clouds, rain clouds, hanging over downtown Dallas.
Well, give credit to the Oklahoma offense and defense. They did exactly what Barry Switzer said they had to do. The impressive thing is that drive, 10 plays, 71 yards. The key being the deep pass to Sewell, coming out of the backfield, forcing the linebacker to try to cover him. He couldn't do it. The big play that took the momentum away from Texas and gave it continued to Oklahoma, and they took it right on in for the touchdown.
Well, Sewell was the man in that possession, in that march.
Did most of every key play. The third down yardage, he went right through for the first down, touchdown, the reception. He caught the pass up here, Keith, when he's laying on the ground for the first down.
Lashar kicks it off. That's a very high hanger, hard to handle, but it is handled well by Kelvin Epps. Epps looking for some room on the sidelines. He's a sprinter, and he runs out of bounds. But not before he reaches the 37-yard line. Now let's check in with Jim.
Well, you mentioned, Keith, the fact that Wyoming is giving BYU a battle. They have traded the lead now 4 times in the third quarter. BYU on top now 33-32 after missing a 2-point conversion after its last touchdown. Robbie Bosco, 4 touchdown passes today. That makes 15 for the season, but it is a long way from over as BYU leads by only 1 in the third quarter over Wyoming. Now back to Dallas. Money, sex, politics. Keith Jackson.
37-yard line, first down. Kevin Nelson shows up in the backfield for Texas and blows it up the middle. And a first down at the Oklahoma 41. Well, how do you do? A freshman from Stafford comes into the ball game for the first time and pops it.
He looked like he was shot out of a cannon. I can't believe the difference. He hadn't played any. He's fresh. He's faster than those fullbacks. They're playing tailback. Casillas. Number 93 gets trapped on the play. Stewart, number 78, 92, 78. Stewart traps it right out of the play.
That's only the third first down in the ball game for the Texas Longhorns. At the Oklahoma 41. Up man, fullback, Johnson.
Boy, did Casillas whip Pilton on that play. The nose guard stuffed the center back into the fullback, no gain.
There's Steve Sewell right there, who's becoming a star in this ball game.
I was talking to the Oklahoma coaches, and they said that Sewell has been their leader, Keith. He's the senior, got a bunch of youngsters over there. He's playing the best football of his career in his senior year, and that's what it takes when you're going to be ranked 1 or 2 in the nation. Your seniors have got to do it.
He's run for 22 yards on 4 carries, scored twice, caught 5 passes for 48 yards.
Busy days.
Longhorns at the Oklahoma 41, second down, 10.
As their possession.
And they're nailed with a timeout here. I don't know whether they're running out of time, he felt, or whether he didn't like what he had. But Texas now has called a timeout with Oklahoma leading 15-10. And again, Jim.
Well, what was it, Keith, about 90 seconds ago? You got it. 38-33 now, Wyoming. Between the two teams, they have missed 5 two-point conversions in the third quarter. Remember, Bino told us you only make 10% of them in the college game. This was a 61-yard touchdown run by Kevin Lowe of Wyoming, and they are on top of BYU at Provo, 38-33. 16-game winning streak on the line. We'll keep you posted. Back to you, Keith.
I bet they don't have enough digits on the scoreboard to take care of that.
Keith, I would hate to be trying to defend Brigham Young with a 5-point lead. Goodness gracious.
Alabama shuts out Penn State. First time the Lions have been blanked since 1972. It's the second win of the season for Alabama. It is a very big win for Ray Perkins. Rutgers handing Army its first loss of the season today. And Navy beating Lehigh 31-14, while West Virginia headed for Boston College next week, winning by 10 over Syracuse. And Georgia beating a tough team in Ole Miss. Rebels are tough. Goes Georgia. Second down, 10. Up the middle goes that tailback, Nelson again. And Kevin is busted at about the 37 of Oklahoma, picking up 4 yards and the penalty flag.
I think Texas is taking a page out of the Oklahoma playbook.
Penalties against Texas.
With the field in this condition, it's pretty hard to go outside and cut, Chief. Straight ahead has been the most successful plays for Oklahoma. Now Texas the same way in this half. Texas didn't need that. 3rd and 15. Dodge, their quarterback.
Procedure call against them. They moved Terry Orr now back into the fullback spot, which is his normal position. That's where he's done the bulk of his work since he came to Texas. And obviously they're keeping Nelson at tailback.
Dodge has only completed 1 pass. That's for a touchdown, but they're going into a triple wing.
Having a little trouble getting Kevin in the right place. Now they're set. He hasn't played any to speak of. Dodge on 2nd down and 15, wants to go deep. He's got a Brent Duhan over there. And Duhan losing his footing, can't come back to the ball, and Brent was all by himself.
Once again, Oklahoma defense seems to be too cautious in the middle. Duhan has completed, has caught only 2 passes this year. Both of them for big yardage, 26-yard average, in fact.
Dodge is now 1 out of 11 for the 25-yard touchdown. But he has had some passes dropped. On 2 occasions, the man was wide open and dropped the ball.
Oklahoma has gone to their 5 backs on defense, their nickel coverage.
So it's 3rd and 15 for Texas. They trail 15-10. Gets it away to the sideline. Epps is out of bounds. Kelvin Epps out of bounds as Dodge had 3 big old red shirts on him.
Chief, one thing as we look at Dodge, kind of limping off the field, you can see Epps, number 40, is open, wide open, but the ball just couldn't get there. Some quarterbacks have a hard time throwing a wet ball. If you don't have a big hand, it's virtually impossible to put any velocity on a wet, damp football. That seems to be maybe Dodge's problem today. He's, what, 1 out of 12 or 1 out of 13?
Yep, 12. Telchik is in for his 6th, 7th punt in the ball game. Sonny Brown is back there. Brown's the one that let it roll dead the last time. Instead of catching it, he's hit a knuckler, and it's going to bound around. And again, Brown had a chance to field the ball and bring it back, but under the conditions, I guess, decided to let it alone. And as a result, Texas kills it on the Oklahoma 8. That was a 37-yard punt. Not long, but effective. Here's how your top 10 is either doing or has done today. Washington, of course, winning. We showed you that. Boston College yet to start. BYU, guess they've started by now, but BYU losing. Nebraska was a winner. SMU a winner. Ohio State tied. Illinois must have come back then. And Florida State plays later along with Miami.
Florida State and Auburn tonight is a big football game.
Texas now trying to swell up on defense and play it tough down here. And the referee has thrown a flag. John McKinnock threw that one.
Backfield in motion, Chief, and Texas will have to decide whether to refuse the penalty or not.
I'd back him up.
Back him up to the 5. Absolutely.
Back him up to the 3. No, half the distance, I guess.
One thing that Barry Switzer, in going for 2, he was thinking about a touchdown, which was a percentage play, but an extra point kick would at least kept them out of 2 field goals.
That's the second penalty on Texas in the ball game, or rather Oklahoma in the ball game.
The left halfback is going to start in motion to the right of your screen. He evidently had the wrong snap count. He's moving towards the line of scrimmage before the snap. Illegal, 5-yard penalty, step 4, pass the distance.
Ball's on the 4.
How would you like to run the wishbone here?
Well, they got Darrell Weddington in there now in the backfield. His first appearance today. Spencer Tillman is lined up, and the fullback Carr gets the ball. And Texas pins him down right about the line of scrimmage.
If I was Texas, if I was Oklahoma, I might kick the ball on 3rd down. I just might. I didn't say I would, but not a bad. And also, they're going to lose the wind advantage here if they're not careful.
Yep.
And there is a good wind blowing.
40 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, and the wind's at Oklahoma's back. I agree with you. I think in this instance, I might just unload it.
I might call timeout and use the wind for my kick on 3rd down. A lot of confidence in the defense.
They give it inside to Sewell, and Steve gets up to about the 7 or the 8. And they're looking at 3rd down now.
3rd and 10. Johnson's coming out of the ball game, Chief. He's bunged up a little bit. That means the freshman Carr's got to get in there and get in there quick.
I think the clock's going to help him out. It's going to run out. 3rd quarter is over, and we'll continue after this commercial message and a word from our local station.
This year, 1 out of every 6 cars will need to have its brakes repaired.
Play. The top-ranked Texas Longhorns trail the 2nd-ranked Oklahoma Sooners by 5 points, 15-10. Oklahoma now has to go into the wind. It is 3rd down and 8. They chose not to kick out with the wind at their back. I think the wind could be worth as much as 15 yards on a punt. Bradley bootleg. Can't get away. Down at the 6 by Stephen Bragg. Stephen Bragg.
Let me tell you, Braggs is a great athlete to get Bradley down 101. Bradley has all of the advantage. Number 6, Braggs, you can see at the bottom of your screen, he comes up, he gets his base. Watch him, Keith. Now he closes on him and just reaches out and grabs that jersey. No more tearaways, and he pulls him to the ground. Great defensive play. Now, Oklahoma
on
in
Mike
trouble.
Winchester. Epps is back at the 45 of Oklahoma. Handles the ball, punts it out. Tail dragger takes a bounce, spins and drops dead at the 42 of Oklahoma. So Texas is on the Sooner side of the field for this possession.
Now let's see what the Oklahoma defense can do.
Penalty flag back at about the 23.
It's clipping on Texas, which will move them back 15 yards further. The ball has already been kicked. It remains with Texas, but it's a 15-yard penalty. It'll still be 1st and 10.
27 of 37 Texas plays have gained 1 yard or less.
That's tremendous defensive play, but you can see that Oklahoma has done much better than they thought they were going to do early in the ball game. 154, but the total yardage for Texas, only 58. Tremendous defensive play. Tillman, playing his first game, has rushed for 85 of the 95 yards. Turnovers being the key in the ball game, as we have talked about many times.
A clipping penalty on the receiving team. The penalty is enforced when the kick is dead.
And it's 1st and 10 as the ball comes back 15 to the Texas 44.
Well, that was a big penalty. Texas could have been in 4-down territory on their first series. Now they've got to make at least 1 first down to be in 4-down territory.
Kevin Nelson, the tailback. Jerome Johnson, the fullback. Bill Boy Bryant has seen the ball 1 time today. Nelson. Nothing to it. 78. Jeff Tupper brought him down. No gain on the play. Here's Jim.
For those of you who may have been outside all day and missed this final score in the 4th game of the World Series, the Tigers beat the Padres 4-2, a strong effort by Jack Morris. 2 home runs by Alan Trammell. Tigers need 1 more game to wrap up the World Championship. And our thanks to NBC for the highlights that we showed you at halftime of that baseball game. Now let's go back to Keith Jackson.
2nd down and 10. 4th quarter, 13:35 to play. Oklahoma 15, Texas 10. Miserable day. Rain pelting down. Todd Dodge, back to throw. Gets away from 1 man. Throws it into the crowd. Incomplete. Casillas grabbed him and spun him around, almost with the face mask.
Keith, that's what I was going to say. Really, the call could have been against Casillas or hitting him in the face. Chilton's trying to block him. They should double team. They have a guard setting it to Chester should have stayed right there. But when you hit the quarterback in the face like that, that is questionable whether it should be a penalty or not. But anyway, they didn't call it. Good play by the nose guard Casillas.
He has been a mountain of a man out there today for the Oklahoma Sooners. Todd Dodge now is 1 out of 13. Nelson's out, Morshell in for Texas. 3rd and 10 for the Horns. Offense is just having all kinds of woes. Dodge's pass is away, and it's off the intended receiver's hands, incomplete. William Harris, the tight end, coming across, involved in attempted reception for the first time today.
Keith, great play here by Dodge. Drop back, a design rollout after you fake the drop back, gives him time. And Harris, just 19 years old, really a great athlete. You can see that the ball go right through his hands. Unbelievable. He is such an outstanding athlete that he would drop that pass. The wet ball just went right through his hands.
Well, every ball in the park is slick by now.
And heavy.
Yep. Sonny Brown is the deep man for Oklahoma now, as Texas is unable to do anything with it.
The amazing thing is that Shepard was knocked out a little bit earlier, and he's not handling punt. He's a normal safety man back there. Oklahoma is staying in a defense in case Texas wanted to run a fake pass.
Telchik doesn't get a whole lot of it. Brown comes across on a fair catch ball. This time he makes the fair catch up around the 22 after a 33-yard punt by Telchik. Time remaining, 13-10. And Oklahoma leads Texas 15-10. Here come the Sooners, first down at their 22, leading by 5. Texas got to pin them up here. Steve Sewell, Earl Johnson, and Spencer Tillman. That in the wishbone. Bradley gives it to Sewell, and outside goes Steve to the 25 for 3 yards. Braggs makes the tackle for Texas. In case it's crossed your mind, Texas has to play Arkansas next, and they play them at Austin. Oklahoma will be playing Iowa State. It's kind of rough to run into Arkansas and Oklahoma back-to-back.
Texas had a most difficult schedule I can ever remember, opening up with Auburn, who had picked for the season to be #1, then playing a Penn State team up in New York, winning both of those ball games. And that's how they got to be #1. When Texas beat those 2 teams, they deserved to be right.
Well, they got Oklahoma, Arkansas, and SMU all in a row here.
Yeah, that's Brady Aikens has been trying to get that schedule changed.
2nd down and about 7. Here's a little skating in the middle by Spencer Tillman. He's a couple of yards short of his first. He's about a yard and a half short of his first down.
I continue to brag on the Texas defensive secondary because they are outstanding tacklers as well as pass coverage. The opposing teams have only completed passes for a total of 37% this year. Penn State was 14 out of 40, and Rice was 13 out of 44. Not a touchdown pass thrown against Texas this year.
3rd down and 2. Tillman, he's close to it. He's got it. He's got a first down.
Second effort, Keith. The Texas defensive backs are just outstanding. We go back to the last 8 years. They've got something like 10 of the defensive backs that played here in Texas in playing in the NFL. One on Churchman is hurt and cannot play anymore, but they've just had outstanding play. What Texas does is put their best, fastest players on defense, and the cornerback plays man-for-man with them, and they are been outstanding and tough on college offense.
Marcy Cage just signed the other day. He couldn't make a deal with San Diego. He signed with the Memphis Showboats.
Yes, I saw that. He was the #1 draft pick by San Diego.
First down, Oklahoma, 33. Upman, Carr, the fullback, and a yard. That's all. Meantime, the clock just keeps on grinding.
That's a perfect point. That's all Oklahoma wants to do is make as many. Look at these stats. Texas, 39 yards the first quarter, -5, 28 the third, -6. And look at Oklahoma, just a little bit better the third quarter. When they came out of that dressing room, Keith, 92 yards, they put things together, both offensive and defensive. Texas made the mistakes, and now Oklahoma leads the game.
That's Spencer Tillman running the football, and he's out near the 40. So it'll be third down and a good 4 yards.
Here's Allen, number 48. Look at his stance. He's been over into what we call a football position, meaning he can react in any direction. He can make the tackle. He takes the fake outside, turns back in, and helps along with Braggs, number 6.
3rd and 4.
Oh, another big play for the Oklahoma offensive line to win the battle.
Steve Sewell, first down. Texas 49.
6'4", 210 pounds. He's been a wide receiver. He's been a wing back. He's been a running back. But how he is playing today. Look at the blocking. Just an old power play. Taking 71, 45 Carr, 85 the tight end. That's the kind of football you need to have when you've got to make first downs. Number 85 pulling around there, Berryhill. With
The
backup tight end.
Rain is pelting down. The ball is marked just over midfield. First down for the Sooners. Johnson, a couple of yards to the 48. You go back to the beginning of the year, Auburn was picked number 1. Texas beat them. Miami was up there. They got beat a couple of times. Nebraska was up there for a while. They lose at Syracuse. Texas has been up there a couple of weeks. They're in trouble now against Oklahoma. 15-10, the Sooners. And 9.5 minutes to play in the game.
Still, it's good to be ranked number 1. I'm telling you, those are some great powerhouses that you mentioned. Traditional football teams. Bravich spends the time out, find out what he wants to do.
And the sky is just a dark gray now, and the rain is just pelting out of it.
Here's a view, a perspective of the kind of weather we've got in Dallas. It's second down, long 8 for Oklahoma. They're on the Texas side of the field now. There goes Spencer Tillman. For those quick feet. He has, I mean, he just stands out with the balance that he's able to affect under these conditions, and so a few other people can do it.
The offensive line is the key to this victory if Oklahoma still wins. Number 73 is all conference. Watch him block over on Darnell, 94. All he's got to do is screen him out. He turns him. He stands up. The off-guard Pope and the tackle Burks pull and lead the play, and another nice game for Oklahoma.
Tillman has 100 yards now on 20 carries. Seems remarkable somebody could gain 100 yards on a day like this. Gain 100 yards against Texas on any kind of day. Tillman again, slashing over the left side and going for the first down. It was 3rd and 3, and he got about 6.
And Keith, your term slashing was very appropriate because he cut. He didn't slip down running to the left away from the AstroTurf leaning this way. He made a good cut and just sliced through there for the first down in behind Burks. And this is the first game he's played. He hasn't scrimmaged any time since last spring. He pulled his muscle in his leg back in the two-a-day practices in shorts, and he has not been able to practice until a week ago.
He'll be walking gently tomorrow.
He'll be sore. But how he has performed. Keith, we go back to Barry Switzer's comment at the halftime. We're going to run right at him. That is music to the ears of an offensive lineman. Boy, you talking about recharging the offensive line. Say, hey, fellas, we're not going to finesse them. We're not going to have to pass block. It's up to you to knock them out of there. And they've done a credible job moving the ball once for 70 yards and a touchdown, and on this drive.
trying to keep it inside where it's safest. 7.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Looking at 3rd and long now.
Well, that Tony the Great made a sensational play. If he doesn't make the play, Tillman's in the secondary. Might make a long run, could even score. The Great ran around the block. Texas penetrates so much, and if they do get blocked inside, they have the speed to turn back out and make the play. The Great was sensational on that. The Great, there he is, number 99. I think he's the best at his position in America. 287 pounds, 6'4".
Ledbetter is in at fullback now for Oklahoma on 3rd and 8. Bradley, down he goes. Number 63, Tony Edwards, the linebacker, blitzing. So Edwards makes the big defensive play for Texas and shoves them all the way back to the 47. Oklahoma will punt.
Two of Texas linebackers are blitzing. 63, Edwards is there first. June James, number 62, is coming, and he's the second man that gets to him, along with a couple of the linemen, and it's a punting situation.
Winchester.
Think he's thinking about catching the ball? You better believe it.
Penalty flag. It's a good kick into the wind. They've got a chance to kill it now. Takes a big bounce and goes on through there and out off the field of play.
Let me just say this. The kicker, Winchester, had his knee on the ground to catch that low snap.
Yes, he did.
If he hadn't raised his knee up on just an instant, it would have been Texas ball right back here.
Yeah, but it's penalty flag up here, and they're talking now.
Texas will go back and make them kick it again, I believe. But I don't know whether we have a shot on the kicker, but it was very close to watch the kick. If his knee, watch him put his right knee on the ground. Now, he's got possession of the ball. That ball belongs to Texas right there. I've seen it happen before. That is Texas ball right there, and they could refuse the penalty. But he didn't call it. I have a good view.
I think like a formation on the kicking team that's been declined. There'll be first down.
Well, I don't know why they declined the penalty. I'd make him kick it again.
Oh, I would too. He's missed 2 or 3. I don't know why in the world they don't make him kick it.
47-yard punt there, and we have seen him on a couple of occasions hit it in the 20. 6:08 to play in a ball game, and the Sooners by 5.
From the guys who did, there's something of
a big play, forcing the punt. He's trying to jack up the offense. OU held the ball over 7 minutes, their longest possession of the game. And here's Texas now, first down from its 20, trailing by 5 points with 6:08 to play in the game. A first down pass by Dodge, trying to set up one over the middle. He's got it. And the pass is caught by William Harris, the tight end, and Harris runs the ball out near the 40 for a first down. So they're off the hook.
This is the same play that Harris ran 84 yards for a touchdown against Penn State. It's the fake of a screen. Everybody goes out with a screen, but oh, wait a minute. Look here, what have we got? A tight end lane right over the middle. The linebackers that chase the bat, only one man, Brown, to make the tackle. Otherwise, it's a touchdown.
Second pass completion of the game for Dodge. 5:47 to play. Dodge pitches the ball back to Kevin Nelson. Nelson finds a little daylight. A lot of daylight. Oh, a whole lot of daylight. It's a foot race. And he's out of bounds. Thrown out around the 4 by Andre Johnson. They put him on the 2.
See, that's the effort for national championship. Nelson, just a freshman. Watch his determination. The first time we've seen the pitch play, a great block by the flanker. The key really was Duhon. Number 7 made the key block. 19, Stanberry is all Big 8. He misses the tackle. Johnson, the fastest man in the secondary, makes the play. Duhon, though, made the key block, or either Bryant, I don't know which one it was, I couldn't see. Bryant, number 80, made the key block. It was run into the formation. I thought it was towards the split.
58 yards on the play.
Watch Bryant, who's only 155 pounds. The key is he blocks Redford, but that's not all. Watch him keep rolling. Watch him keep rolling. Don't give up. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Right there. That's the secret. That's what we call a roll block, and that was perfect execution.
First down and goal to go, Texas at the Oklahoma 2. Terry Orr Back in at I-back, the big man, and he hits it down to the 1.
How strange things can turn around. Who is going to make the big play? Would you think it would be a freshman tailback, listed number 3 in the lineup, played only a few plays, fresh, has that speed, and he was a difference in that play was his speed, his determination, just a freshman.
In the 12 times that 1 and 2 have met in regular season play since 1943, 2 has won only 1 time. Second down and goal. At the Oklahoma 1, it's Orr. No, sir. They deny it at the line of scrimmage.
Now will Freddie Akers try to gamble a little bit? Sometimes he tries to go outside. It's going to be interesting. I believe I would stay with that big horse and behind that offensive line. The most experienced side of that offensive line is on the left. They're running right at Tupper. Boy, that Tupper got penetration, and Bosworth came over the top. Just as pretty a defensive play as you could make. Too close to go outside. 2 downs to make 1 yard for a national championship potentially.
Third and goal. Orr. He didn't make it.
Nope. And he didn't make it. Great second effort by the linebacker. Now what do you do? What a gutty defensive effort by the Oklahoma lineman and linebacker. I'd take time out.
They do. I might take that whole offensive line across the field and say, hey, fellas, y'all realize what this is all about? We'll see what happens. Kevin Nelson has come back in at the I-back position for Texas. Texas just inches away from the Oklahoma goal line. It was Nelson who made the big play that gave them this opportunity to regain the lead. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get the ball. He's got it on a sweep right. Oklahoma stringing him up. They got him! They got him at the 3-yard line.
Can't cut, Keith.
Nope.
No way to cut. Didn't have a chance. A gutty defense. He's going to play 11 men. Watch Switzer right here. Let's see if we can get his reaction once he realizes the defense made the play.
He jumped too high. We couldn't see it.
Jumped out of the picture. Well, Texas got 3. How many timeouts they got, Keith? Can you tell? I can't find it. Let's see Switzer's Akers' reaction.
They got 1 timeout. Texas does. Oklahoma, I don't think has any. They got the Sooners. They're trying to pin them down now. The ball is on the 3, and Danny Bradley, the quarterback, just takes it and wedges out close to the 5. Time remaining, 3:43.
Keith, they'll be talking about that goal line stand in Texas and Oklahoma for years to come. Remember the one in a similar situation when Alabama stopped Penn State on the 1-yard line?
Sugar Bowl for a national championship.
And the Sugar Bowl for the national championship and 1 against 2. Never forget the play of the linebackers. That was the key in that one, the key in this one too. Uh-oh. Now normally Texas would get a break, but since the clock was running, they'll penalize them, and Oklahoma can use another 25 seconds because the officials will start the clock as soon as the ball is ready for play, and Oklahoma should stay in the huddle until they have the last few seconds of the 25. Now he should start the clock again right here, and that would, as soon as he gets the penalty marked, and that'll give Oklahoma really 50 seconds to put this one play in.
False start on the offense. It is still 2nd down.
Now he should start the clock right there. He's waiting a long time. Now he should wind it. There he goes. There goes the clock. So Oklahoma has 25 seconds again before they have to put the ball into play.
2nd down, 11 inside the 3. Bradley just hanging on to it.
Now the question is, will Texas give a safety or will they punt it out?
Oklahoma.
This is a big decision because they lead by 5 points. Here's the man who's got the pressure, Winchester, who's had some bad moments today. Fumbled the snap, kicked 2, sliced them off his side of his foot, excuse me. I think they should give him a safety too and line up on the 20. Although a field goal with time, I believe they'll give him a safety right here if they don't make the first down.
They don't.
Now the big question for Switzer. Will he give a safety? Texas is trying to get
that timeout. That'll be the last one. So both teams now are out of timeout. 2 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the ball game. Timeouts remain. The scoreboard shows none for either team. Dave Burnson thinks Oklahoma's got 2. The official scorer says 1.
This is a big decision for Switzer, whether he'll give him the safety or not. I personally think the percentage play is with the safety.
There it is. So they gave him the safety to make it a 15-12 ball game, but again, it raises the other specter that a field goal could affect the tie.
But would Texas go for the field goal, Keith, with
I certainly would if I were ranked #1 in the country. If I could get out of here with a tie, I think I'd take it, wouldn't you?
Under these circumstances, they should, probably, because they really didn't think they had a chance to win it.
This ESPN Classic program is presented.
Now you got some heat on Winchester to hit that ball as far as he can.
And he's kicking into a brisk wind. Although, Keith, I believe the wind died down a little bit. It has. Late in the afternoon, sometimes it does. I believe I'd get over here on the right hash market. If my memory is correct, the wind swirls in this cotton bowl, and you can kick into the wind from this hash mark, and it swirl back and get the wind sometimes.
His best punt today was a 53-yarder into the wind. He also had a 47-yarder, but he's also had a 22 and a 21. Well, he got a good one. Kelvin Epps comes back to the 44 and 2:04 to play in the ball game. Now it's up to the Texas offense. They couldn't punch it in. 1st and goal at the Oklahoma 2.
What a goal line stand by the Oklahoma defense. After a 58-yard run, to stand up and stop a team as powerful and big as Texas is tremendous character. Tremendous character.
Kevin Nelson is the I-back. Jerome Johnson is the fullback. They send Nelson wide into the slot, give him 3 wide receivers. And Dodge back. Throws it short to his fullback Johnson out of the backfield. Johnson makes something out of nothing. Ball squirting loose.
He called it dead, though, Keith. He called it dead.
It's been called down at the 40, near the 47 of Oklahoma. He was on the ground when the ball came popping out.
But I wonder which Oklahoma player made the contact. The second man up knocks the ball out, and he makes some contact. There's Bosworth. It wasn't him. Now Johnson hits him first. Oh, boy. That
42,
ball is...
Paul Miliazzo.
Miliazzo. The ball was loose.
Ball is on the 47 of Texas, and it's 2nd down and 7. Dodge back. Down the middle. Off Harris. Cannot pull it down. Just off his fingertips. So it is 3rd down and 7.
Harris is 6'5", weighed 205 last spring. Now at 235, you can see he goes up, makes a great effort, juggles the ball, but it goes to the turf incomplete. 3rd down and 8, Keith.
I was worried he was going to drown. There's a lot of water that's fallen out of the sky here in this city today. Texas is 1 out of 9 on 3rd down conversions. There's your time remaining. Dodge gets it off in a hurry, and it is incomplete, and penalty flags are thrown, and I think Oklahoma may get dinged here with pass interference as Brent Duhon was shielded away from a fair effort at the ball.
Well, the rule says that once an offensive player gets territorial rights is in place, let's see what. There's a lot of discussion there. So the penalty is either 15 yards if it's more than 15 yards. If it's less than 15 yards, it's an automatic first down at the spot. And that's what it seems to be.
It's going to be a Texas first down.
Yes.
On the defense.
Let's see. Duhon, number 7, is curling up. Now, once he gets... Now, that's a legal contact right there. But if the ball was in the air, then Stanberry was illegal. The ball had already been thrown, obviously. If the ball had not been thrown, it was a legal shove.
Now it's at the Oklahoma 41, 15-12 ball game. Oklahoma leading, minute and 15 to play. Todd Dodge to the sidelines, can't grip the ball. He tried to shoot one over there to Duhon, and it's virtually impossible to get any zip on it right now. And of course, Jeff Ward, whose longest field goal of the year was longest field goal of his career was 32 yards. That came against SMU last year. He may be called on here to perform a Bunyan-esque feat on this wet day.
That's tremendous pressure for a sophomore who had a great freshman year, but he's been a little bit erratic this year.
They need at least 15 more yards, though, to give him a fair chance at it. Todd Dodge looking and looking and looking. Now lobs one, incomplete. Pass intended for Rob Morshell, coming out of the backfield and defended by Andre Johnson.
I think one more completion would give him a chance, since he has the wind to his back for the field goal. But would Texas go for the field goal? I guess they would. As Keith said, number 1 team seldom go for the tie early in the season. Maybe it's a good move.
Well, you got a better chance to be number 1 probably with a tie than you have with a loss. That's the only rationale on it. 3rd and 10. They need one here. Little lob over the middle to Terry Orr, and Orr is short of the first down by a yard, maybe 2 yards, but they do have the ball inside the 35.
See where they spot it, Keith. It's going to be 2.5 yards or 2 yards for a first down on 4th down.
You got 53 seconds to play.
And I'm wondering why they stopped the clock. Why aren't they running the clock? Or did Texas take a timeout if they had one left?
They don't have one.
Well, the clock is stopped, has not moved for a good period here.
Give new ball. Fresh football.
Well, you don't stop the clock for that. They've held that ball. I guess Texas had a timeout, Keith. They haven't moved the clock at all.
No, he didn't indicate timeout.
Defense, offside, it is still 3rd down.
Oh, 5-yard penalty.
I never saw the flag.
I never did either. They must have lined up offside. I didn't see anybody jump. Now they're starting the clock. Once the clock gets inside the 25 seconds, the team that's behind, they will not stop the clock on a penalty by the defense.
3rd and 5. From the 37, Dodge. Gets it off over the middle. Harris has got it. The tight end's got a first down at the Oklahoma 21-yard line. You've got 34 seconds to play in the football game. They are now within reasonable distance for Ward.
The 2-minute offense. Clock is stopped for the team.
Dodge is trying to shut down the Texas band so he can get a little less noise ringing in his ears. He's got to throw the ball out of bounds. He throws and completes the... No, it's not good.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Duhon, he has killed the clock, however, with 26 seconds to play. Would you throw it in the end zone one time?
There's number 23, Ward. The pressure's really on him.
Wouldn't you throw it in the end zone?
Oh, absolutely. I would be sure that if we don't get tackled for a loss, if they don't have any timeout and get tackled for a loss, it's questionable whether they can get a field goal off, but they need to throw the ball in the end zone. Texas, number 1, needs a victory, and they're going to go for it. Duhon is their key man. Brown is their key man. Harris, the tight end.
Bill Boy Bryant. They come this way with it. Pressure's on. Todd just passes away. and it's caught by Bryant at the 10. That could be another first down, and now they are definitely in field goal range. 19 seconds to play in the ball game. No timeouts for Texas.
Throw the ball right out of bounds and stop the clock unless you've got something you really want to call. He's calling a play.
19 seconds. 15-12, Oklahoma. Penalty flag down as Dodge zips it out of bounds and kills the clock with 10 seconds to play. Let's see about the penalty.
Backfield in motion, movement by the Texas offense. Move them back. The downs are academic here. It's the time that you're worried about in the yardage. So move them. Oklahoma should move them back.
I'll get my place kicker in the ball game right now.
10 seconds to go. Boy, that's a big decision for Freddie Akers, whether he goes for the tie. I think you're right. That's the thing to do. Even though they are number one. Early in the season, we're still in the middle of October. Well, they're going to go one more play and try to throw it to the goal line.
10 seconds. I tell you, you had to kind of cinch up your belt to make that decision.
Boy, how many...
On the offense.
The clock will not start since there was only incomplete pass. Only start on the snap.
Quarterback sack here, though, and they might be out of field goal range. He puts it in the corner of the end zone. And it is incomplete.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I thought that one official was reaching for a flag.
I did too, Keith. He was right there on top of the play. There were two of them there. We have a chance at home to see Bryant. He's just going to fade over towards the boundary, throw it up. Johnson goes up. Woo. Stanberry did catch the ball, but now they're trying to decide whether he was in bounds or not.
Apparently he was out of bounds.
Didn't have control with 1 foot in bounds while he had control.
32-yard field goal. That equals his longest of his career at Texas. 32 for Ward. One for one from that distance this year. The snap is high. The kick is up. It is good. And time runs out. And it's a 15-15 tie. So Ward from 32 yards makes his second field goal of the season at that distance. And all of the heat that Eddie Kitchens could put on the young man, and he delivered it, and the Oklahoma players have just absolutely collapsed on the field in disappointment. Barry Switzer now talking to John McClintock there, and I'm sure Barry a little upset over the call in the corner of the end zone where it appeared that Stansbury had caught the ball on the ricochet, but they ruled him out of bounds.
Let's see it again. Stanberry is going to catch the deflected ball. Both men go up and bat the ball forward. Stanberry, if he has possession, 1 foot in bounds, which he clearly does, has both feet in bounds as he catches the ball. They are still in bounds. Now let's see it again. Oh, look how far they are from the boundary. There's plenty of time for Stanberry to catch the ball. There he is. He's got it. See if he gets possession of it. No official sees it. They're both officials are behind. The one on the left that we're seeing should be behind the play. He would have seen it. Too bad for Oklahoma. Break for Texas.
Too bad?
Well,
there'll be raging and thunder over that.
Yeah. Let's see the reaction. Nope, didn't get a chance.
But here's the man that delivered for Texas to effect the tie as the clock was winding out. Jeff Ward from 32 yards. Pops it up. A lot of leg on it. Good all the way. And you wind up with a 15-15 tie. Well, I don't know if they proved anything or not today. Number 1 and number 2 met at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, and they finished even.
Texas ended the